Hello everyone. I am Owen McDonald, and I am a steaming pile of garbage. That would be right. And I have basically no life because I have all the time in the world to do nothing except just go on Twitter all the time and circle jerk with the rest of my fans all the time about how horrible people are. Like the Dark Conservatarian, for example, who is an utter bigot, and he hates women for all the life of him for daring to have a different opinion on abortion. And yeah, I got nothing. Anyway, hello everybody. It is the Dark Conservatarian, and here I am with S-Man, and we are celebrating my 400 subscriber celebratory. My 400 subscriber milestone.
Yeah, and the day beforehand, DarkCon had the misfortune of daring to post a funny video about a guy who dared roast Owen, and apparently, the guy had said something anti-Semitic in the video, which most people did not catch upon or didn't hear because Owen's mic is shit, and he got muffled, and well, Owen's feelings got hurt, and he tweets out something like, "These people find this anti-Semitic douchebag to be their right-wing hero," but he said something anti-Semitic, which most people couldn't hear because my mic is shite, and Dead Horse was laughing over me, which most people laugh at me.
I think he was coughing, but anyway, yeah, I get the point.
And I couldn't hear, people couldn't hear my self-righteous voice, so I'm going to literally accuse every one of DarkCon's fans of being bigots and anti-Semites, because motherfucker. And believe me, I understand that I'm a dishonest hack, but I have to be, because if my fans think I'm getting red-pilled, then I'm losing all my Patreon supporters, and I'm not able to avoid having a job, and I have to take actual responsibility in my life instead of virtue signaling on Twitter for money. Yeah, that's all.
Does the guy even have a considerable amount of Patreon followers?
I have zero idea. Let me go check his. Let me see his fucking Twitter. PayPal, and I like how on his PayPal he shows his middle name. I always thought it'd be something else. So
he docks his own middle name.
Apparently, he's an activist. Oh my god!
Wait, what? He calls himself an activist
on his Patreon. And
okay. Sleepy Projections saw the message of me saying "Join you faggots" on the Next Crusade group chat. Oh my gosh! A Dark Conservatarian called everybody in a group chat a bunch of faggots for not joining his live stream. Anyway,
I'm looking at the rewards, and yeah, I wouldn't sign up to this bullshit at all. Apparently, he has 8 patrons, and he gets $9 a month. Oh, he's making that bank, y'all. He's getting that green. And speaking of green, hopefully Charlie can join one of these streams soon.
Yeah. Join everybody. So far there's like you, Christopher Hutter, and CSG have seen that link so far. Sad that none of them decided to join yet. I hope we get ourselves in. Hello there, JJ.
Hola, señor.
How do you
Stop appropriating my culture? Stop appropriating my culture.
Shut the fuck up, Mexican.
Okay, Redskin.
Oh, you had to bring in the racial slur. God damn.
Well, we need to be accused at least once a day of being like that. And besides, I know if I roast JJ too hard, he'll go cry into his room a trail of tears.
God damn.
Hello, Batlock.
Yeah. It's rewind time.
So, I take it you would prefer that I did not use your first name at all, right?
I don't care.
Okay, yeah, this guy is Chris from the Strike Force Discussions group chat, everybody. And
Hi.
would you mind if I say as to how you and I know each other?
Yeah, go ahead.
This guy's my cousin, y'all.
Hi.
Ah,
Yeah, glad that you could join, Batlock.
Yeah. No, me too. I've been meaning to do more political drama, So I figured, hey, why not join Zach's live stream, right?
Yeah,
I assume this is a live stream. I actually need to check.
yeah,
we are live.
it's a
Awesome.
live stream. It's primarily to
Live
celebrate
stream.
me getting 400 subscribers on my YouTube channel. Large part and thanks to my 2 cents, which that would be great if he could join, like as kind of a thank you for him being in large part a big help to me getting this far. But I'm glad that I could at least get the person to have kicked it all off in the very beginning of things, that being S-Man Speaks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of weird looking back, like how much shit has changed from when me and DarkyCon met to present. But especially, the funny thing is, it all wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for Owen Osama bin Donald being dumb about topics we even agree on.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Owen Cunt Donald is like was the thing that united me and S-Man together, which when me and S-Man first met each other, and around that time, also me first getting to actually, I guess, more fully know Owen, he wasn't that bad a guy at first, but for some reason, he just became more and more insufferable ever since the debate that he had with S-Man on trans people, and then especially the one against another friend of ours, the Incredible Aspie, on trans issues.
Because you both were espousing Nazi-esque ideas, and anything.
What's so wrong with a woman with a penis?
Wait, are you guys? Are you joking, or do you actually believe because I know you guys have differing opinions and all. Just out of curiosity, is everyone on the same page on the idea of transgenderism? Just out of curiosity.
I believe that it should be legally allowed. That's my libertarian belief speaking right there. As far as the science and whatnot that goes, that's something that we bicker, that we can quibble about more, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, because it's very clear cut. I mean, when you're talking, even when it comes down to non-binary people, I mean, these are people with deformities, so you can't make the argument that this is just a natural occurrence in humanity, in the human species. But I mean, it's very clear cut. I think this is a very clear case. I don't really get how you can.
12, how dare you espouse such bullshit rhetoric like that? You are Nazi-inspired.
I'm transphobic now. Dang, I guess I get to be transphobic now.
Batlock is a part of the Third Reich now.
Oh dang! I guess maybe I'll get to meet PewDiePie now. My dream.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt you.
And while we're talking, it's apparent that Nazism runs in DarkyCon's family, and this not night shift. I almost said night shift. This Batlock person situation is officially guilty of everything I said because motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, that's about right.
The best part was I got Owen to be transphobic because he was stereotyping trans people, and I'm like, you realize they don't all do that, right? And he's like, and I think I saw a look of fear in his eyes for a second and I'm like, if only his camera picked that up, because
it's a very common thing where you'll have this thing where they try to be on the supporting side, but then they end up coming off as racist. I mean, if you saw AOC's rally, I believe, I'm not sure where it was, but it was, most of the people there were black, and she was just saying ain't when she's never said ain't before. Where I come from, this, being a bus driver is a good job, being a bartender is a good job, and she was just doing a very clear black person impression to try to support all the African Americans in the area, and it's hilarious to see it happen because they claim to be the great defenders of African Americans, transgenders, the LGBT community in general, but I find they have the the more stereotypes than really any other politician group.
Okay, I gotta share this to you guys. 1 second. Screen share. All right. So I say to this guy, there's still no legal power. The type of authoritarianism I'm talking about is legal authoritarianism. The type when you're forced at gunpoint to do or not do XYZ, not the arbitrary power play, quote unquote, you speak of. And he says, fun fact, social power, economic power, and legal power don't have different kinds of authoritarianism. They're different cudgels authoritarians wield, depending on which is more expedient for the circumstance. Which, that did not make any sense. It just looked like a big word salad right there.
I love word salad.
And not worth responding to.
AOC does word salads all the time. They're the most entertaining thing to watch. I mean, I've actually read, I don't know about you guys, I've actually read the full Green New Deal several times because I didn't get it the first time because it's so confusing. And then I listened to Steven Crowder just reading it. It's such a, I mean, it's amazing how whoever wrote it, how they articulate it. It's really a fascinating, amazing piece of legislation.
Okay. Fascinatingly expensive piece of legislation.
Well, yeah, well, of course. I mean, it's completely irrational and ridiculous, but just the way everything is worded is just amazing in and of itself because it seems so. It tries to take this formal stance where they're acting like very business like this is just going to be every day in the park. We're just going to solve all of climate change. End racism, get everyone out of poverty, give everyone free healthcare, free jobs. Also, you can get income if you don't work. All this thing. It's just a walk in the park, right? Which we're going to get free walks to the park too, by the way.
By the way, Common Sense Guy in the chat says, hi all, happy 400 at DarkCon. I hate salad of any kind. Yeah, as your fat ass shows. Fat shaming for the win.
Hey, there's this steak and avocado salad at the restaurant I work at. It's the most amazing thing ever. So I can change your mind. I can change your mind on the salad. I guarantee it.
Perhaps so. I mean, but then you'd be pretty much drowning out the flavor of most of the more icky vegetables like the lettuce, the spinach, and all that.
Oh yeah,
lettuce is good,
evil lettuce, right? Lettuce doesn't taste like anything. It's just kind of a placeholder.
Yeah, I mean, if you get enough lettuce all onto one burger, I mean, it can be be like a nice, cool, juicy type of feeling in your mouth as you're biting with the burger, but it's not really a flavor enhancer. I mean, there's this one place called Bricktown Brewery here in Wichita, although I almost want to say that they might have Bricktown Brewery in other places of the city, of the country as well. But anyway, Bricktown Brewery, I had a burger there once. It was like a medium rare cooked hamburger. The patty was, and then there was like a heaping pile of lettuce on it. It was just a nice combination of cool, juicy lettuce and hot, flavorful burger.
Dang, that does sound good. I mean, this is great discussion.
Plus, there was all the other toppings on it as well. Of course,
yes. I love how we're just able to go back and forth between politics and normal, really basic things like burgers, food, and salad. And
stuff. Yeah, this is. Notice the title of this particular live stream right here. It says the Dark Cancer number 024, which I forgot to put the # for number 024. Right. But yeah, Dark Cancer live streams, I typically have those more open for different types of discussion, be it political, drama, or just a for fun hangout, making jokes at each other's expense. Talking about each other's lives, how it's going and whatnot. And speaking of life, I want to thank you all so much for joining on this live stream, because when I woke up this morning at about 11:30, I had been nothing but responding to a whole bunch of Owen's flunkies, and that just got a little bit soul draining eventually, how much time was wasting on there. And it felt kind of lonesome, in all honesty. Cold and lonesome, and now I'm on this live stream with y'all, and I feel emotionally a lot better. So yeah.
By the way, Zach, thank you for telling me that Owen McCuckold was talking shit about me, even though he doesn't hardly know anything about me, as his tweet shows.
Owen likes to think that he knows everything about a person. Really
Even
doesn't.
though he's only talked to me like, what, 3 or
Was
4
that-
times?
Was that the guy who I talked to about climate change originally? Before
I don't think
Oh,
so.
because remember I was in the chat before. I ended up leaving
Oh,
not
yeah,
because I was overwhelmed by the politics,
no,
but because
no.
I wasn't like in a position to like really argue my points, and I was kind of going through some other stuff at the moment. So I was like, yeah, maybe these kind of things are my thing.
That was not Owen McDonald. Who
Mhm.
you were talking about was Cult of Ham. Owen
Cult of Ham,
McDonald.
that's right.
Owen
Yeah.
McDonald is a lot worse.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen some of the stuff that's going on
Cult of
between
Ham-
you two.
Cult of Ham is at least lightened up. Like, yeah, Ham can get kind of toxically arrogant when it comes to talking about his own political beliefs and whatnot,
Oh, yeah.
which is kind of what annoys the ever living fuck about him. But he isn't as arrogant and as much of an objectivist. You do not get to disagree with me type of person as Owen is.
Oh yeah.
And plus, Ham at least is lightened up and has a sense of humor. So there's
Yeah.
that.
And that is one thing. I think it's as far as like when I'm trying to argue with people, I always try to like, even if I completely disagree with them and think they're an evil person, I will always try to like kind of have that objective sense of like, okay, people have been we've had this divide going on since the beginning of time where we have people we morally completely disagree on, but the thing is they do come to their stances, whether through political means, through social means, so they do have reasons for having their beliefs. I think a lot of people they kind of just give into it, so I think it's always good to try to like kind of see it from their perspective. Doesn't mean I'm going to be just completely accepting of what they say. Like if you say something like female penis, I'm going to say that is some grade A bullcrap right there. What the heck are you talking about? So, but you in a respectful way, right? As respectful as you can be.
Mm-hmm. I'm seeing some people in the chat here. Does any of you all want a Hangout link? Common Sense Guy, I know that I've sent the Hangout link onto a freaking group chat that you're in with me. So if you want to join, then by all means join that way. I wonder.
Oh God.
Wonder what happened.
Trainer McCurry's in the chat.
Who?
JJ, I would prefer that if we did not get into any drama fights, really.
I'm not gonna. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah,
I saw that already before you told me.
Did you guys happen to see? So, I retweeted some of it. But did you guys happen to see any of the abortion debate I was having with this one person?
S-Man? Or
No.
You. Oh
I've
yeah.
never debated it.
I got you.
Whatever, is just some girl with an anime profile, but she made a lot of traditional liberal abortion advocate pro-choice points. So
you're talking about Google It. Yeah, I mean
yeah, it was on the Google It thread. It was with someone else. So there was a brief thing with me and Google It, and then there was I had something else going on with someone else, and that's where I actually had an interesting conversation.
Yeah, that other guy who said no, you can go to hell or see you in hell. That was just utterly retarded.
Well, yeah, of course. That's the thing is, anytime they do that, they've already they've given up. It's kind of just funny to watch, to be honest, because it's like, because there are reasonable, like I don't know if I call them reasonable, but there are people who do want to have discussions, and you see this alone in Steven Crowder's Change My Minds, where you'll have the people who are protesting and being like, "Oh, you're racist, you have to leave," and then you'll have the people who completely stand against him, but they'll still have a discussion with him. So it's fun to see that play out on Twitter, and I like that. I'm going on tangent now, so let me finish it up. But I like that he does that, where you can kind of see that play out in real life as well. But
yeah, on Twitter, I mean, in all honesty, I don't know. As far as Google It goes, she isn't exactly the smart. This is okay. this is not me trying to be mean to her or anything, but she isn't exactly the most articulate with her own political beliefs.
Yeah.
And I don't know. She part of me almost wants to think that she knows it, but we have quite a
I think
history
a lot of people do,
behind
yeah.
Google it.
Uh-huh.
We have quite a history.
I mean,
with her.
just the post. I mean, if you just read the post, the original post, I don't know. I'm playing this through my phone. I'm just reading on my computer, so I couldn't actually show it to you. But the original post that we were looking at,
And
it's the meme with the Brett Kavanaugh and like, oh well, he gets off scot-free, but then a woman has to deal with this choice. It undermines the conservative argument where like someone like me, I can understand where someone who is pro-choice comes from. I disagree with them wholeheartedly, but I can understand it. This shows how many pro-choicers, pro-abortionists, they really don't understand our point for what it is, and
right.
So I think a lot do, and
to the point where whoever made the meme made a false equivalency.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I want to give a welcome to Heartless Soy Boy for joining the stream. Hello, Soy Boy.
Yes, welcome. He appears to be
Hello.
muted. Oh, there you are. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he keeps
Great,
himself
we have a
muted.
soy boy here.
Yeah.
All
Hi,
right.
sir. Oh, welcome. We have another.
He keeps himself muted for most of the time that he joins anyone's streams.
That's fair. I'm in an apartment with like at the moment 4 other people, but normally it's 6 other people. So, yeah, I totally have to do that too. But yeah, so the whole thing, yeah. So number one, there was 2 issues. It was a false equivalent, comparing the whole Kavanaugh thing, and I did make that point. But more importantly, just the second panel, she's going to have to live with her mistake. You're kind of this is something they always do. It always comes down to you're violating the woman's right. You're violating the woman's bodily autonomy, which we can get into the semantics of autonomy. I don't have full bodily autonomy because if I did, then I would potentially be able to kill anyone on the street. But so we could get into that, but just more generally, like they misunderstand what we actually fight for. They think that in this example, the example is we're saying no, women should be responsible, which they should be, and they have to live with their mistake. I mean, yeah, that's a result of what happens, but more importantly, our point is it's a child, and not just a child, but a person with inherent intrinsic rights and values, same as us. So I think a lot of liberals do understand that, and they just disbelieve it. I think they're being dishonest with themselves, but they're understanding. But most, like Google it here and others that I've debated and just heard in general, they don't get that. They cannot seem to compute that in their mind, and it's sad but fascinating to see how people's thought process works.
By the way, a Common Sense guy, if you're still watching the stream right now, I just want to tell you that you are doing a good job of grilling this Kill Fascists 1x1 Twitter account, who is like thinking that it's justified to have some arbitrary amount of force for like the short term. And hello, Nate, how you doing?
Hey, I think this is my first time on your streams.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've seen you on stream. I've been with you on streams outside of your own channel, but I don't think you've ever been on mine specifically. Like,
no, I haven't. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to come on, say hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, this is Nate the Voluntarist, leader pretty much of one of the ANCAP circles.
The ANCAP Illuminati leader.
Yes, the ANCAP Illuminati leader. And then there's another circle, that being my 2 cents and his libertarians, that he'll occasionally have on his Today with 2 Cents news streams and his patron hangouts and whatnot.
I might be returning to his streams real soon, though. Currently, I haven't been supporting him lately because I moved out of Patreon. So,
right.
Anyways,
I've moved my patronship to him to Subscribestar for the most part. I think I still have patronship with him on Patreon. It's just I've decreased that down to $1. Like a high dollar patron for him on Subscribestar, or if you can call it a patronship, but low dollar patron for him on Patreon. Hello, Reckless Trucker.
Yo, what's up? Sorry if the audio sounds like shit. I'm in my truck.
Yeah, it sounds like that you're talking through a plastic cup.
Mhm.
How's my
Really?
audio, by the way? Just out of curiosity, because I'm literally using like a crap microphone.
Damn, I actually.
It sounds
does-
pretty good.
It does
Oh,
not
okay.
sound. It does not sound as bad as Chris Henry. That being Reckless Trucker.
Reckless Trucker.
I did
Cool.
not, or I don't know. I know that you have your name revealed on other places, but would you highly prefer that we call you Reckless Trucker instead of your name Reckless?
That's what I go by on YouTube. Yeah, but I find it weird to be called Chris by my real name on the internet in general. Honestly.
Okay, but
That's my name, too.
so as I was trying to say, your audio is not near as bad as Trucker or Crusaders. Matlock.
Awesome.
I
That's
get
good to know.
it. It sucks.
What are you using?
What am I using?
No, the guy who said I get it. It sucks. I know you use
Oh,
special
I'm using a-
microphone.
I'm using a PS4 mic.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, that'll do it.
I literally have nothing better than this.
A pair of Apple earbuds is apparently better than this.
Fuck Apple.
No, me too. I don't like Apple either, but I just use the earbuds still because I never replace my earbuds, and they're actually more comfortable than most earbuds.
It's funny.
I'm
I
using some random headset a chick left in my car.
Let me see. What headset am I using? I'm using Sony. Just
I have a pair of Sony.
regular. What?
I have a pair of Sonys. I guess I could hook them up, but they're Bluetooth, so they might glitch out.
Yeah.
My experience, Bluetooth fucking sucks, man.
Yeah, for calls, especially. Yeah, definitely. And
Good thing
on
I-
a live stream.
Good thing I don't have that. It's funny. I've actually had some people saying that I should move my show onto Apple because I'm doing kind of like a podcast show,
Mm.
you know, kind of like Tom Woods or Joe Rogan or whatnot. And I said, no, I could never move over to Apple ever.
Rip. How many subs do you got?
I'm going on to 600. I got around 586.
Not bad.
Not bad, yeah.
I'm slow. I'm just slowly growing, you know,
Yeah.
building my own base.
I don't upload like really at all. Like I have uploaded like once every 3 months, and they're random dumb videos I do. And then I've tried to do a few political commentaries, and but I've never uploaded them to YouTube, just because I haven't really felt the need to yet. I need to get in full gear. I'm kind of just focusing on work and school for now, but I'm kind of getting a feel for it because I'd love to do some commentary.
Yeah.
I'm going to start
Yeah.
re-uploading and doing regular content.
Okay, so just so I'm making sure I'm doing my part, real quick, everyone who's watching or ever sees this, you have to subscribe to PewDiePie, unsubscribe from T-Series. Thank you very much. I've said my piece. I'm done.
Oh god. Okay.
That's a joke for legal reasons.
For legal reasons, that's a joke.
Blue Republic. Hi.
Hey, what's up?
T-Series.
Oh, Blue's here.
Hey, DarkCon.
Hey, Blue.
Hey, Blue, what's up? Rarely have you on here, but anyway, what's up, Blue?
What's up with Owen? Honestly, how's this going?
I don't
Lost his
know.
shit.
The guy has fucking mental problems for all I know.
Everyone but me is a Nazi and a terrorist, man.
Everyone who doesn't agree with me is a Nazi, even though the person
That's-
may or may not be fully white.
That's that kid's book, right? That everyone who disagrees with me is Hitler. Yeah, I remember. It was one of the Golden Book classics.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
gosh.
remember.
I've had a few propertarians, quote unquote, calling me an open borders communist. And I'm like,
What
Oh
is
my
a
gosh.
propertarian? I need to know. What is a propertarian? Because you guys are throwing out these crazy parties I've never heard of. Propertarian?
I think it's more of an ideology than a party. But
Yeah,
go
okay.
on, Nate.
Well, the
Actually, before I let you go on, I have to give an intro to Carlos. Hello, Carlos Castreo.
oh sure,
Hey.
sure.
Castreo, how are you, man?
Castreo?
Congrats on your 400 subs. It's awesome to hear, man. How are you?
Oh, thank you. Okay, this whole time I thought the J was pronounced as an H, like in the Spanish way, but
Fuck Castile. I'm not
Jefe.
Spanish. I'm Portuguese. We pronounce J.
It's close enough. It's close enough. But
Wait, who's this? Hello.
you have to you have to excuse my dumb American ass.
No,
You're
you're not. You're
excused.
not dumb.
But
I'm
anyway.
the dumb one here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not
Wait,
you,
as
what?
a du-
Propertarianism.
Wait.
Someone explain propertarianism, please.
Yeah, sorry. Nate, go on.
Based on what I've seen, they're more on the side of Donald Trump
Mhm.
for the most part. You know, they like support protectionist policies, and they also
Mhm.
support border. Basically borders. I mean, I'm not
Sounds
an
like a conservative.
Yeah,
Are you one of them fucking borders aren't real libertarians?
I am for private borders. I'm for privatizing borders. Like I want to.
Huh.
Yeah, I want to privatize borders. Like
I feel like one of the only things, one of the only points of government is literally to protect our border. That's literally one of the only points of government. And you're saying,
yet they've done a horrible job of
oh, they
doing
have
it.
absolutely. I mean, it's
They
been
do a
better these
horrible
past
job at
few
everything
years.
else, man. What'd you expect?
I'm not saying no borders. It's a bunch of lines drawn on a map. No, I'm like saying let's
Borders
privatize
are
borders.
imaginary, man.
I mean,
Smoke
yes,
spot, bruh.
they're
Yeah,
drawn
I'm
on a map
saying-
because we own the land.
Yeah,
I
I'm basically
would not
saying,
trust a private entity like
That's like
Wait,
to,
Yeah, I'm
uh,
saying-
to
Okay,
protect borders. We
like
have the
saying-
example. We have the example of the social media private companies. And do you really want to have them privatize the borders? No, thank you.
well. So the thing is, when private companies become powerful enough, and this is why monopolies are prohibited. When they become powerful enough, they basically become the government. That's what happened in the USSR. All the oil companies. They were controlled by the government essentially, but they were basically the government because of how much power they had, and so that's why.
No, that would be
That's
now after the USSR ended. Before
Hey,
that,
yeah.
This
Yeah.
stream,
I agree.
this stream right here is really catching fire, especially with how everybody wants to talk at the same time.
yeah,
Are we live?
I mean,
Are we live or just private?
No. We're live, dude.
yeah, we're already
I
live.
didn't see the channel, man. It was in what's the channel? I want to give you a thumbs up, even though I disagree with a lot of things with you. But shit,
Here, let me give you a link to the stream browser right now. It's in the group chat for this Google Hang.
much love, man. Thank you.
All right.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
there it is if you want to see the stream for yourself. And for everybody in the live chat, and even everybody here on this live stream, this is an open Q&A for, well, primarily for the person celebrating his 400 milestone, that being me.
Happy birthday!
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have
Happy
411. You're up to 411. Good job.
Exactly. I like people, and I promoted you. Well, I'm just liked, and I'm gonna share. So yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
So you got 3
Wait,
whole
what the
viewers.
hell?
It's amazing.
Wait. This Castro guy. Castro.
Castrate
Yeah?
Joe. Castrate Joe. Castrate Joe.
Joe.
Yeah, no, that's Castrejo.
No, fuck that. I'm not Spanish. Fuck you.
That is Castrejo.
No, fuck you. I'm not Spanish. I'm not Castilian.
Okay.
Fuck me yourself, you coward.
Can we
I'm
just,
not a coward.
Wow. Say no
Spain has never
homo.
tried. Spain, we beat the shit out of Castile for so long. They hate us. Fuck them.
I didn't hear no homo in there.
by the way, in large part, I just gotta
All
say,
the homo.
No.
cause
No.
straight.
Nothing wrong with homo.
Whoa! I just gotta say, Castrate Joe,
Thank
that
you.
reckless trucker is a big time sarcastic shit talker. Just saying.
He's a troll.
Got it.
Oh, he's
Oh,
cool. I
you're
love
one of
trolls.
those. Wait, I thought
I'm
I
a
was a
troll.
troll. Someone literally told me I was a troll the other day because I was getting in, I guess you could call it an argument, but so you guys heard of the consent condom, right?
Yeah.
It's
What?
amazing.
I love it. It is
yeah.
the most
So-
rape-friendly condom ever.
Oh, it really is. But so basically, so this one lady, she was she was as against it as I was, but the point she was making was ridiculous. She was saying basically it's maybe men should just not rape which is a dumb argument because not all men rape. The men who are raping are evil, horrible people who need to be killed and either put in prison for life or killed after we hang them by their balls. But so I was telling her, okay, well, I agree, but the reality is some men do, and that's horrible. So I think you should be able to defend yourself. Don't you agree? And she said, no, it's not the woman's job to not be. She said it's not the woman's job to not be raped. I'm like, what? It's not the.
So
okay.
It's not the man's job to not be murdered.
Yeah, no, that was my point. If I'm being shot, yes, I might not like that I'm being shot at, but you best believe I'm gonna shoot back. Okay, just because I want to live in a world, and it shouldn't be my job to protect myself, which I personally think it should be. But maybe let's say that I think that there should be this thing where no one murders anybody, and I shouldn't be in this situation. Great, it's perfectly fair to want that. But if that's not your situation, then why wouldn't you want to defend yourself? But then she called me a troll. She said, "This is bullcrap. You're a troll." I'm done. I'm like, what am I trolling here? What is your point? I need you to offer some sort of defense. But
a troll would be somebody who is like doing nothing but throwing a whole bunch of sarcasm and name calling and all that crap at you.
Can I suggest a new analogy?
Castrejo here.
Castrejo, exactly. Do you want to know a new analogy that you can use against them? It's not a car driver's,
Batwing.
To have an accident, not what's the word? Not a car driver's
responsibility.
Responsibility. Thank you. To have a car accident. There you go.
Yeah.
If you get in a car accident, it's not the
responsibility of the car driver. Yeah.
I can give you guys a better analogy that is supported by the Supreme Court.
Oh no.
Boy. Here we go.
It's not the cop's job to protect you. It literally isn't. It literally is not their job.
I know.
Do you guys know that?
It's ridiculous. See, this is
a quick thing. Do you guys know that the Portuguese has a constitution? Portugal has a constitution, right? It's amazing.
Would not be. I do not.
I hardly realize it's a country.
Right. And our constitution has two clauses which are based on the First Amendment of the United States of America.
Mm-hmm.
So we have our own First Amendment, which
I like your country more.
Our Supreme Court enforces. So, for example, I can call the Prime Minister a dick, and I will not be prosecuted.
That's good. That's a start. You should be able to call politicians whatever name you want.
Fuck Trump.
Yeah, no, you should be able
to. There was a precedent a few years ago where two guys, one was a peasant like I am, who called the president a dick.
Mm-hmm.
He was immediately prosecuted, but about a day later, a prominent commentator called the president a dick as well. Mm-hmm. So he was not prosecuted. But the judge of the lawyer of the guy that was prosecuted said, "Oh, whoa, wait a sec. I'm calling this bullshit because our First Amendment, our Portuguese First Amendment, which is Article 37 of the Portuguese Constitution, said you can do this as long as it doesn't incite violence, as long as it's the same as you guys." Yeah. And said, "Oh, okay, sorry, our mistake," and he was let off, obviously, and he got a little bit of a compensation. So fuck the first, fucking awesome, the First Amendment,
of course,
which is our Article 37.
I'm heading off, guys. See ya.
Hey, thanks for
later, Tater.
My name is Carlos, by the way, and that's my real name, Carlos.
Oh, fun! That's Carlos.
And my avatar is
how many
actually
times
me.
have you been jacked?
Is actually me. My avatar that I'm showing is actually me, a photograph of me with an Akubra hat, Australian hat. It's fucking awesome. Best hat in the world.
How old are you, by the way? You look like you're in... How old are you? You look like you're in
52.
You're 52, really?
Yeah.
Huh. You're hanging out with us like young kids.
So, I'm not an ageist.
You're not one of the young hip people, old man.
Right. I witnessed the emergence, the foundation, the genesis of social media, the internet, and all that shit. I saw the memes grow and prosper.
Oh yes, Are you? So you've seen
Oh, why
the memes "Birth
make
and Death"?
patriarch?
Exactly. Patriarchy, where vagina has privileges.
Mm-hmm.
No, I said old wise patriarch.
Thank you. Yes,
Wow.
but yeah, exactly.
Smell out.
I'm not a patriarch. I'm young at heart. I feel sometimes 15, sometimes 19, sometimes 21. Depends on how
but
the mood.
you can only have
Depends
sex with
on which
people
woman
over
he's
18.
fucking, you know?
Yeah, no,
No,
sorry,
I'm,
those laws are still in place.
I've been happily married for 32 years and 30 years,
Oh,
and
that's
I'm
amazing.
happy. So yeah,
It's really good.
Congratulations.
thank you.
You did better than most people in society.
Well,
American society, I
in
imagine.
the most shittiest country on earth, which is actually the best country on earth, and I will not accept rebuttals because we are so shitty, absolutely abhorrent that not even Syrian refugees want to come to live here. There is actual news articles in Portuguese which the Syrian refugees would fucking rather starve than be sent to Portugal. So yeah, I'm sort of happy.
Oh,
Don't feel bad. They probably just never heard of it.
No, they've heard of it. Yeah, well, they've heard of it. They want the ICE, even fucking ISIS heard of it. They said they want Al Andalusia back, but that's another story. Our government is a nepotistic, corrupt, almost dependent on the European Union shithole of a government, right?
Fine.
But that is fucking
shithole, you fucking racist.
Exactly, but that is the best thing on earth because we don't have the shit that Spain has. We've only had one terrorist attack, and that was against the Iranian embassy. So,
what? Wait, what?
It was in the 80s or 90s. Where they had
against which embassy?
The Iranian embassy, Iran.
They don't even bother attacking you; they attack themselves. They're so fucking.
It was an anti-Iranian mujahideen, whatever. Fuck them, they're all. Yeah, and we don't. We do capture cells, terrorist cells, but our secret police and our intelligence agency, we monitor. We are top cunts. Living for about 80 years under a fucking one of the worst dictatorships ever, we have developed a really good spy network and top quality shit. So they monitor them, and as long as they don't fucking do anything here, fuck them. Let them go. They're bombing Spain. Yeah, all right. Fuck them. Fuck Spain. They're bombing France. Fuck France.
So like the KGB with human rights.
Yeah, as long as the European Union sends over the psalms, what's that word? God damn it! Sometimes I forget words. The welfare, the European welfare to Portugal. Oh shit, we are fucking okay. Yeah, we will live over on the little crumbs they give us. The European Union, the day that they cut our crumbs, oh god, they will regret it. Spain regretted it. The Moors regretted it. The Muslims regretted it. Napoleon regretted it. And even the British Empire regretted it. So everyone, we are the shittiest country to rule over.
That is big talk for a country of 10 million.
Oh, that, yeah.
No, we're less than 10 million now because we are so shithole of a country that our youth is leaving Portugal.
The Portuguese regret it.
Yeah. Portugal doesn't protest like the yellow vests in France or whatever. No, we pack our bags and say, oh, look, Uzbekistan is met doctors, nurses, engineers, scientists, whatever. Oh, look.
Who the hell is Portugal and go to Uzbekistan?
For real. That sounds worse.
No. Uzbekistan is offering a Portuguese doctor, 10,000 euros tax-free with everything else for a 10-year contract. And the Portuguese goes, fuck yeah.
10,000 over 10 years is enough to make you go to
Not
Uzbekistan?
10,000 per month.
Oh, per month for 10
Yeah,
years.
per month over
Wow.
10 years.
What's the
No,
translation, and how hard is it to pretend to have your accent?
My accent's Australian, mate.
Yeah, I noticed. You don't
Oh,
actually
yeah.
sound Portuguese at all.
No, I lived in Australia for 23 years, so I got this Australian accent, right? The
Okay.
one I'm talking now is my BBC Australian. But
Dig.
I can do my Australian, the Australian that I grew up with at school. You know, it's a bit more harsh, more. You know, it's a bit more
Yeah.
woggy, more Italian, more. It's sort of like the.
Wait, can we curse here, Dark?
What?
I would assume yes.
Can you curse here? Is that even a fucking question?
Say the word cunt.
Cunt.
I thought I did a few times earlier. Owen Cunt Donald is a cunt.
Mate, we
Would you
call,
lick
we
that
call
cunt?
out in Australia, as I consider myself as an Australian, sort of Australian, we call our mates cunts, and
I'm
we
aware of
call
this.
the people we don't like mates. So
This
mate,
is really true.
exactly.
Okay, guys, I gotta go. I got some AP Physics to finish up, but hey,
Later, Batman.
hey, Zach, congratulations. I mean, you know,
young
better than
whippersnappers, you young
Yeah.
whippersnappers, fucking study STEM
I
fucking
will.
fields. Don't go into
Shut the
bloody
fuck up, Carlos.
basket weaving courses. See you, mate.
see him.
Anyway, yeah,
These
thanks
fools.
thanks for the congrats, Batluck, and I'll see you
Oh
later.
yeah. Oh yeah, and hey guys, get me to 400. Subscribe to my channel too, Batlog12, please. I
Fake
need
news for legal reasons. Joke.
for legal
I'll
reasons.
will.
That's a joke.
I
Yep.
will.
All right.
I'll
Because I remember the day that you surpassed me,
Peace,
and I was
guys.
like, "Damn, I got
Congrats,
See you
so
later.
so salty."
Bye.
Dark will send me the link, so I trust him. He always on the same channel. I trust you, man. So send me his link, and anyone that wants to have subscribers, I'll subscribe. I may not watch all the videos because I don't have enough time, but yeah.
What you want me to send a link to Batlock12's channel?
Absolutely, I'll subscribe right now. Just put it posted here in the group chat. Yep.
But hey, can I bring up a subject, y'all?
Absolutely. Go on.
All right. So, how many of y'all have been seeing Owen McDonald on Twitter?
Yeah.
I have been in the deep shit of that, dude. Is that even a question?
No, besides you guys, I've been watching you fling shit with him. How about Castro Joe and
Carlos. Call me
and
Carlos.
Nate?
Hi, my
Calling
name is
calling
Carlos.
him
I am an assassin.
calling him Carlos will probably be a lot easier for your health, trucker.
Right. And what about but Carlos and Nate, have you been following this hilarious Owen McDonald shit?
Elite prospects.
No, he's literally over the past week been accusing everybody of being inspired by Nazis and calling them terrorists.
Yeah, it's
that's been over for the last 5 years. Okay.
He's
It wasn't-
African American.
he's half African American, anyways. But that's
He's
besides
He's
the point.
British.
He looks starved, so I don't blame you for thinking he's African.
But
No, he's
oh
black.
god,
Damn it.
He's African American. By the way, Portugal loves our black people because our black people are civilized and they are patriotic. So
Okay.
just so you know.
Is he an American? The dude sounds
British.
weird.
He's
no,
a
he's
socialist.
not American. He's
Yeah, he's not
American.
African American. He's African British.
No, he's a
He's
socialist.
British.
He's a socialist.
Oh, so he's not
Yeah,
even human.
oh god.
wanna
Socialists, I disavow that statement. You are all people just of a different belief.
I don't like ideologies. I hate every ideology. I have no ideology. None. Absolutely.
Lack
No,
of
fight.
belief is still a belief.
Like lack of hair is lack of hair is a hairstyle. Yeah, okay. I'll accept
It is though.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Lack
but,
of life is a state of living.
But anyway, like as Trucker was trying to say a little bit earlier, it wasn't over the past week, but Owen for the past couple of days was like accusing us all of being a whole bunch of Nazi-inspired anti-Semites, or at least he was bordering on that, because I uploaded a clip. It was a 7-minute clip of a guy named Godbotherer roasting the shit out of him, and because a whole lot of people were liking that video, and of the fact that Godbotherer was roasting him, and did not hear the fact that Owen was like reading a comment from the live chat that Godbotherer had left, where he was all like, the IMF is a socialist program controlled by Jews. And when Owen read Jews, he was so fucking muffled up that nobody could hear him at all, and couldn't catch up on the plausible anti-Semitism. So everybody was just ignoring that. But then because everybody was liking the roasting, Owen then goes to thinking that people are like inspired or something and are liking the anti-Semitic rhetoric and so on and so forth. Even totally ignoring the fact that barely anybody had heard him because he was muffled out by dead horse coughing into his mic or something. And then there's also out of left field, like this is just way too fucking typical of Owen. Like he'll just randomly out of left field go decide to like pick on my abortion beliefs or something, decide to smear them and whatnot, and not actually give a substantive response or argument for his own position. The only thing he'll do is just preach to the choir that, but by that I'm meaning his own belief or his own fan base, virtue signal, and just, you know, all that other bull crap, and then like trash his enemies who dare disagree with him on abortion. But this time he has gone to a new low. Like he was already pretty low. He already went pretty low with people just for daring to disagree with him on abortion. But this time he says that the pro-life community, or the anti-abortion community as he puts it, is a terror threat.
Wow.
Yeah, he thinks we're next thing you know, we're all going to be yelling about babies and blowing up abortion clinics.
Well, there was the Texas law, which is probably what he's talking about, where they were going to make the death penalty for abortions.
As a Texan, good. As a Texan, good.
Wait, what?
No. Will I trigger anyone to say that I'm a complete knowable? I'm an archaeologist. I think Doug, the conservatory, knows that I'm an archaeologist.
Yeah, vaguely.
Yeah. So as an archaeologist, which studies the beginnings of humans, Neanderthals, Denisovans, our species, Sapiens, Erectus, Heidelbergensis, and even back further, studying them, I've seen the emergence of religion. So I know that there is no God. Right? Now, having said that, I'm also a fierce Zionist. Will that trigger any of you guys here?
Greater Israel shall rise and take over the Middle East. I seriously would love that.
God. By the way, hello, loudmouth.
Hello.
Very loud.
Well, the only thing that I criticized Israel in the 1967 7-day war was that they didn't
take all the things.
They didn't prepare the land for. I don't want to get you guys a strike because this is a radical fucking. I can be fucking so radical but centrist as well.
Well, I just heard Trucker apparently advocate for freaking death penalty for abortions, which I disagree with that. And I think
so do I. Even though
I do agree that abortion is a big time moral failing, but I don't think abortion is objective enough of a thing for you to like using that as a reason for the death penalty. Like if somebody like goes on a school shooting, that's more objective because more people can agree that school shootings are fucked up. But when it comes to abortion, not everybody objectively agrees that abortion is a moral failing that deserves well, much less deserves the death penalty.
Yes, I agree with that.
All right. Hey, I need to give an update on the bill real quick. I just linked it in the chat. Okay, so here's what seems to be the problem. Texas, of course, for murder has the death penalty. And so what the bill did was, I'm looking at it now, I linked it in the chat.
Send it to the kids, yeah.
It says at basically any unborn baby has, and this is the text of the bill, full human rights pretty much. And it is equally in law as any other human would be, which means that if you have an abortion, they consider that murder and death penalties on the table. The bill has been halted by the people who proposed it. It looks just, I think the problem is maybe it's poorly written.
Fucking cowards.
It didn't take much time. Yeah, I knew you'd say that, Rick Strucker. The full text there.
As soon as an egg is fertilized by the sperm, it becomes a completely biological, distinct entity.
Well, it takes about a week for the crossover of the chromosomes to occur.
Yeah, exactly. If it's viable after a week or two, or up to 12 weeks, which is okay, I can accept that, then it is not just like the fucking communist cunts that say it's a bunch of cells. No, it is a distinct genetic individual.
Its genetic code will never be seen on this planet again.
It will not. It is totally different from the mother or the host, as you can say, or the father.
Wait. Okay. You done with what you were saying, Carlos?
No, I was just going to say that.
If you're done, I was wanting to give Loudmouth a warning edgewise.
Yes, he will. Just one thing. We do not need abortion as a birth control method. We have free and completely various methods of birth control. Abortion should be as a last
guys, I'm watching two birds rape each other. What the fuck?
Extreme, only in extreme
Shut the
cases.
fuck up, trucker.
Only in extreme cases, like incest or rape or something like that, or genetic defects of the child, or danger.
I have a friend that's a rape baby.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. Yeah. So
anyway, Loudmouth, you want to say something?
I always am baffled at the stupidity of the term clump of cells, because at its rudimentary level, literally every single complex organism on this planet is just a clumping of cells.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. See, they protect.
I'm honestly just baffled that that they could say something that's stupid, and that's like a routinely common argument.
You know,
are you yelling from down the hallway, Loudmouth?
What?
I think he's on his phone in the car or something.
Yeah, well, it's a bit silent, low volume, but I can hear him.
To what Loudmouth was saying, though, yeah, in my debate against Owen on abortion, which I don't know if you saw that one, Trucker, but check it out. I think you'll love it. But at one point, Owen put out that stereotypical talking point that it's just a clump of cells, it's just a bunch of cells or something. And then I immediately said back at him, well, you are just a bunch of cells as well. Then he said, yeah, but I'm actually alive. Which a fetus is actually alive too. Damn it!
Owen is really stupid sometimes. I swear to God.
Right, for real. He fell down the stupid tree and hit every branch on the way down.
Well, it's socialism does that to people. It fries their brain. So. God damn it! I want to debate an actual communist socialist. I've been making a list of things I want to discuss with them.
Actually,
find the not gay guy on Twitter. He's always some communist. Lionel's our cops. Find him. He's more respectable than Owen.
Yeah. No. You're right. A cultural boomer is far more respectable. But you were saying, Blue?
Okay, actually, on the abortion stuff, this is one question I have. I know a lot of even right-wing libertarians have had this. You guys are obviously against it. One question I've had, and I'm into policy, okay? So whenever you're making a law against abortion, the idea is the unborn baby deserves full rights as any other human, okay? So if the mother drinks and that could hinder the fetal development, is that child abuse Do we create laws
Yep.
that drink
wait
mother? To
I
what
would
extent?
say-
A glass
I'd
of
say
wine?
yes. Some
I-
So
mothers
a single
drink
glass of wine is the same
Wait,
as
whoa,
child.
whoa, whoa,
No,
let Blue finish his point.
But to be real quick here, I'm just saying that I don't know what this single glass of wine at dinner. I almost guarantee you, my mom did that. I'm sure millions of mothers, at least
I'm sure.
once, did that. Is that really child abuse?
Yeah.
And
Any
No.
amount of alcohol for a fetus is incredibly harmful.
Okay,
No,
I
come
will
on,
say,
come on, come on. No,
I will
no.
say,
They've-
morally
they did a
speaking,
study that showed
it is child abuse. But the question is then, should there be like laws against that?
It's poisoning
What's
a
the
child.
punishment?
It's poisoning a child.
No.
They did this one study
Guys.
where they found they monitored people throughout their lives whose moms drank while they were pregnant, and they found that children who were exposed to alcohol as fetuses grew up to have higher crime rates.
what extent of alcohol? What extent of alcohol?
Lower IQ. and
Exactly.
lower population.
Hey.
Even minuscule amounts increase their likelihood
guys.
towards crime. It's correlation, admittedly, but still. Go ahead, Dirk.
As the host of this stream, Nate is right. I think we should try to avoid talking over each other as much. I know that we're all impassioned and
Yes.
yeah, we all pretty much like each other, and so we're kind of fired up in a rather positive way, at least instead of a negative way. But Nate, I think, wants to get a word in edgewise, as he told me in the group chat. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Nate.
because I haven't been getting much of word in edgewise, and plus as I was talking earlier, everybody's just jumping over what I was saying, and I was not able to finish my points.
What was the point?
Okay. So, Blue, what was your question again? Because everybody was just talking over you, and I didn't quite get it.
Oh, mine was about the policy. Is that to what extent do you punish a woman for having a single glass of wine while she's pregnant? To what extent is that child abuse? And how mostly it's not even just with wine and alcohol. It's to what nutritional value for the children. Depraving the child of nutrients by not feeding yourself properly, like you're eating too much chocolate or something. To what extent are most libertarians willing to write laws the government is going to enforce on people for pregnant women? It's just like a question I've seen tons on Twitter that a lot of libertarians have brought up. And I was just wondering what you guys thought about.
Well, this is just my opinion, but I don't believe in having laws regarding abortion, promoting it or prohibiting it. I mean, I believe that life begins in conception. I don't call myself "quote unquote" pro-life. I don't believe in titles, but regarding your question, depending on what the situation is, if the woman was is just being, like say being a wild party girl, for example. Let's just pretend for a moment.
Yeah,
I'm drunk.
I didn't get a chance to talk, man. Come on. I would say that in a ways that's kind of attempted murder of the child. It's more than child abuse.
Yeah, especially with that low of a body mass for the baby.
Yeah.
The lower.
Can I make a point about this?
From my layman's perspective, the lower the body mass, the more likely they can die from a certain chemical. But anyway, what are you about to say, Trucker?
All right, so there's 2 points that I would make. First off, as far as the laws go and are concerned, I think we should just completely abolish Roe v. Wade. And the reason is, if that happens, abortion will get kicked back to the states, as it should be. The federal government should not have entire control over what state governments say is and isn't legal. That was the point of having states inside of a union. My other point on this is that, okay, when it comes to what you were bringing up about treatment of the fetus inside of her and shit, it goes to within reason, okay? Having one glass of wine every now and again and shit, okay, whatever. It actually does cause harm to the baby. But we also allow moms to drop their kids off with the grandparents and go have a stupid drunken night, come home, their kid sees her throw up on the floor.
Well, that's not actually doing any physical harm to the child themselves.
It does some hella mental harm, trust me.
A kid seeing their own mom barf does some mental health.
Knowing their own mom's being a dumb drunken slut does. Anyway,
Jesus
I
Christ.
don't know. I kind of have some reservations when it comes to mental health, which that was kind of one of the things that people kept on mentioning to me in the Twitter fight earlier about whether or not the pronouns should be given to trans people and whatnot. I mean,
we're jumping to let's continue with this theme. I still want to say something about that.
But
what you
real
want to
quick, I
say
have-
something about the mental health part of it?
About abortion and what drinking alcohol with women and children and etc. As an archaeologist, which I study biology, I'm not a like say what's a famous biologist that I don't anyway. I know enough of biology to know that yes, alcohol is bad for people, but it's not that bad as the media think it is, or the fake news and shit does. It's all you got to take everything that you hear with a grain of salt. So, my area where I live is poverty stricken forever since it developed from the Middle Ages, and drinking wine at meal times is normal. Males, females, even children.
Yeah.
The wine was better than the fucking water, which you could get diseases from. Not where I live, but in other places of the world. Like in the Middle Ages, in most of Europe, you needed to drink fucking beer because the water was just polluted with
If
shit.
they know how to make beer, I imagine they know how to clean water. Honestly,
Exactly, and the process. Moderate drinking moderate is a cup, 1 or 2 glasses of wine at when you eat something, when you have dinner, lunch, and tea or whatever. That will not really affect the developing fetus because it's just not enough alcohol percentage in wines. Wines usually have about 11-12% alcohol. Now, if you drink fucking a bottle of vodka, yes, it will do shit. But not wine, beer, or the light spirits, light alcoholic content drinks. So that is not in itself child abuse. Because
I'd have to read some studies on it. I haven't read up on it. I just posed the question.
Shit! Don't take the World Health Organization too seriously because they've made potatoes. I've seen potatoes gone from being bad to being good over about 10 years cyclically. Olive oil the same, and all the good stuff that the Mediterranean diet, which is the best diet in the world, alongside the Japanese diet, which is the most healthiest. I've seen the components of that diet saying, "Oh, it's bad for you. No, it's good for you. No, it's bad for you. No, it's good for you." Fuck them. That's political.
Doctors have been going back and forth on coffee as well. Not to mention that.
Exactly. Fuck them. No, we've been
fuck
drinking.
them. Coffee's amazing.
Potatoes are amazing.
I'm drinking my Joe right now. Like,
I'm gonna make some right now and protest.
Guys, I got to tell you, please, don't take this as an attack on you guys, but American coffee is shit. There's only 2 places on earth that make good coffee.
Unless it's McDonald's.
No, Portugal and Italy make the best coffee, which is espresso, and there's no argument. I'm not going to apologize. Sorry.
Espresso. Well, I like a nice espresso shot in my coffee as well, Carlos. I think we all like a nice espresso shot mixed in with our coffee.
Well, no, I drink just espresso.
That's some gay shit. It's got to be black.
With sugar, obviously.
Isn't espresso essentially a type of blend of coffee?
Yeah, but that's cool. There's no wrong with it. But the way it's made, it's the coffee grounds that are passed through pressure water, and Portugal and Italy roast the best beans, and when it's passed through the espresso machine, it is bloody fucking awesome. So
I've roasted a few beans in my life, but enough about my sexual behavior.
That's cool. So getting back finishing off. just finishing off the abortion thing. My personal position is abortion. There should be provisions in law for exceptions, but abortion should not be a contraceptive measure.
Right.
We have condoms, pills, shit. We have so many ways of contraception, morning after pills and all that shit. They are absolutely fine.
Here's the thing. Yeah, if I
Why do we need that?
even if I was like a pro-choice libertarian instead of a pro-life libertarian, I would at least be all against the welfare when it comes to birth control, if you can technically call that welfare or whatever.
Well, subsidized, but
subsidized. I'm not for subsidizing.
But that's minimal, man. That's a drop in the ocean. It's more expensive to have abortions than provide free condoms, free birth control pills, free morning after pills.
Even more so am I against subsidizing people's actual abortions. But even when it comes to birth control, like a lot of it is just, especially condoms, for the most part, is just cheap as fuck.
Right. Let me make this point.
To make it subsidized.
The birth control.
Wait. Let Nate speak.
What's funny is they like to complain about us not wanting to fund, the abortions being done. But it's like if you want to have an abortion, you pay for your own. All right, don't take our taxpayer dollars to fund your killing of an unborn child. And here's the thing about birth control: you could get it for like $12 a month at Walmart. For crying out loud!
You can get it free. Condoms are free in many places on Earth.
Oh yeah.
Well, let me make this point about this, because it touches in with what you guys are saying. There are responsibilities that come with existing, and one of them is watching your goddamn genitals and what you do with them, whether you're a guy or whether you're a woman. Yeah, that's the responsibility.
Yeah.
Take care of your genitals responsibly. I'll admit I'm kind of a man whore, okay? Like,
yeah, you hypocrite.
Yeah, no, I'm a total fucking hypocrite. I don't think people should be having sex until marriage, except that I don't obey that at all. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, that's near or there. That's
right. No, but here's my point, and this is my reason why. That a woman should not let a guy fuck them who cannot afford a goddamn condom. If he's not willing to stop and buy a condom, one, he's not a responsible guy. Don't let the irresponsible people stick their dick in you. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Two,
and another thing.
If he can't afford it, he is so poor. Do you think that he is going to be capable of raising a child with you? No. He's so poor he can't afford a goddamn condom for $3. That's how much a 3-pack cost at my local Strides.
Yeah,
$3.49.
Less than $1 each.
Do you know women steal sperm from condoms?
What?
Fuck those evil bitches. They deserve bitch slaps. No, I'm kidding. But still.
Steal sperm? What?
In Arizona, I think there was a case just a few weeks ago where...
What do you mean they steal sperm? What are they trying to do? Like, get themselves pregnant without having sex?
No, they have sex protected, and then they say...
No. I'm talking about the women who steal sperm from condoms. Somebody mentioned that earlier in the stream.
They have sex, and then the guy is protected, but they want to get pregnant, so they can basically get alimony or whatever welfare shit. It's happened. It's been legalized in fucking Arizona, where there was a case a week or 2 or 3 or last month where
I saw it.
Yeah, you saw it, so you know what I mean. I'm vaguely, I don't remember the details, but basically, yeah, the man had said, "Fuck no, she stole the sperm. She's pregnant now. He has to pay the shit." No, that's fucking wrong.
Thankfully, I think there's a few crazies out there. You just hope you
No,
got
it's, no,
avoid
it's
it.
common. It's not a few. It's fucking almost. It's getting mainstream.
Get this.
What on earth? It's not
Here. I'm gonna
I've
guess you guys don't hang out in a lot of black communities in America. It is very common in black communities in America to the point that it's literally a trope that a nigga has to watch his condoms.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking becoming mainstream.
Well,
And the fucking courts are making men pay alimony for not even their own fucking DNA.
Hey, Nate
Their
wants
kid.
to talk.
Yeah,
Jesus.
another problem is there are women who consent to having sex, and then afterwards they regret it, and then they say they've been raped.
Right. Yeah, that's
Oh,
rape.
God.
culture, yeah. But if they're raped by multiple the religion of peace activists, it wasn't their fault. It was fucking
Religion
white
of
men.
pieces.
Yeah, it wasn't their fault. It wasn't.
A piece over here, a piece over there.
No, like Stockholm syndrome of Sweden. Yeah, I know that shit. I know that. I'm going to leave you guys. Conservative mate. Congrats on the 400. Let's see if you can get to 500. And I'll come on when you get 500. Okay.
Sure.
Later, Carlos. Nice meeting you.
See ya.
Bye bye.
I just passed 3,000.
Oh,
Yeah,
Blue.
yeah. Let's let this
Fucking
let's have
show
this be a
off.
cooperative stream. It's a celebration of both my 500 subscriber milestone, or my 400, excuse me, my 400 subscriber milestone, and also Loudmouth's 3,000 subscriber milestone.
Can I
Yeah, even though my last
chip in?
video was blocked by
I
those
reached
assholes.
200.
Yes. Wait a minute. You reached that like a few weeks ago, hadn't you?
Yeah. Oh no, it went back down to 198. So now I'm back to. So I get to celebrate twice.
All right. Any excuse to drink.
Yeah, exactly.
Got a bird in the background?
Yeah. Wolf has
Yeah.
a pet bird.
Oh, what kind of bird do you
Damn.
have?
It's a cockatoo.
Put it on camera. I want to
Oh.
see it.
Yeah, I'll be happy to put it on camera.
I
I have
have
a
a,
bunny.
I have a
Sorry,
conure.
Nate.
I was just saying I had a conure, or I have a conure. It's a Gende.
What's a conure? I want to see it.
A conure is a parrot. It's a
Never
type
heard of
of
parrot. Never heard. I'll Google it later.
Look up Gende conure.
Gende, is it spelled? Okay, go ahead.
Jendae.
All right, one moment. I got to back out of my porn.
Oh gosh.
Oh my god, it's fucking adorable.
Yeah. It's like a one size or two bigger than the cockatiel, but they're often very the conures,
Cocktail.
I mean the conures are very, very friendly, though they are loud, but
Yeah,
Poor
this one's still a baby.
My friend of the family people, they got cockatiels. I don't know. The Australian ones,
The cockatoo or galah?
the little ones that never shut the fuck up, and I want to murder.
Isn't that basically the cockatiel?
Yeah.
the conure, the Gende conures are among the noisiest.
Yeah, they got one of those, and dude, I am tempted to butcher the damn thing. It never shuts the fuck up. I left a phone with it
Yeah.
once. No, I left a phone with a record when sound app goes, record when talking app. It literally played for 10 hours non-stop.
Well, it wants attention. It wants to be out and with.
No, people were there with it the whole time, man. Well, not the whole time, 10 hours. You get my point. If you go into the message, you'll see a picture of my bunny.
Such a
I am-
softie. You're such a real softie.
Hey, my bunny's fucking adorable and trained like a dog almost.
Who knew that a real hard ass redneck motherfucker could have such a soft spot for rabbits?
I'm not a redneck. I'm a hillbilly. There is a difference.
You look in large part like one. I mean, what, you wear cowboy boots, a ball cap. You got the facial hair pretty much of one as well. The accent. You live in fucking Texas, for crying out loud. And of course, freaking rednecks love their trucks, and you're a semi-truck driver. So how much more truck-like could it get than that?
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. What, for proving that you are pretty much a redneck?
Except also, oh god, never mind. I own a lot of guns.
Trucker face reveal, by the way, everyone.
Seth.
Well, although he's revealed his face before, so I guess it doesn't really count. Oh, you are literally a Nazi. Trucker.
Goddamn nuts! I actually bought this just to fuck with my neighbors.
Do you get assaulted on the street for wearing that?
No, but one guy did break out in cold sweats once and was like glaring at me and balling his fist up. I just waved at him and blew a kiss.
Oh,
I'm not even a Trump supporter. I despise Donald Trump. I'm thinking about getting a MAGA hat just to piss people off because I'm so fucking sick of these guys.
Dude, it's so much fun. You'll love it. Trust me.
Losing their shit just because of a stupid hat.
Nate, what?
I once saw a clip of a guy who was a Trump supporter. He was wearing Trump MAGA stuff or whatever, and then he was at a shop to buy stuff, and the shop owner was literally going, ah! You know,
was that the vape shop guy?
Yeah, and then the Trump supporter, went, I love America, capitalism wins, you know. And that guy literally just flipped out like crazy. He's like, get the fuck out, you know.
No, I loved it too. He starts screaming, you're a racist piece of shit, and the black guy behind the counter's like, what's going on?
And then the Trump supporter was like, hey, I got no problem with you, man. Don't worry.
No, the black guy's like, straight up, I understand, man. You want like lower taxes and shit. Nothing racist about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even the black guy was like, dude, you're freaking the fuck out, yelling at people being racist.
I know. It's like,
it just makes people want to buy it. People just want to buy the hat when they hear that.
Yeah, it does. And it just ensures Trump's reelection, too.
Yeah,
Not much of a Q&A going on here, but I love the hangout that we have.
Oh, I know what makes me not a redneck. I have really long hair.
I guess that is a point. You pretty much got hippie hair. Not quite that long, but it's comparable, just a little.
I let a chick cut my hair once because I thought I would get some. No one's ever cut my hair again.
And this person playing as Reinhardt is pretty good.
But
by the way, Blue, I have to make a comment. Like, there's something about your accent that is kind of weird. It's like a mesh between some European dialect and American. Like, it's hard to pinpoint down.
Yeah, I don't know. Born, raised Oklahoma. Italian on my dad's side. Got some Polish and Scotch-Irish from my mom's. And I don't know what happened, but yeah.
It all just became a huge fucking mess to where it's your own unique accent.
Yeah, it's a fucking mess. That's pretty much
all the accents are warring inside of his voice box. You can hear it actually. No. When he said when he started talking about his dad, he sounded slightly more Italian for a second.
Well, no, it's hard to say that we're Italian without. I mean, it's got a little bit of ring to it.
Italiano.
Io non parlo Italiano.
A mazzeria pizzeria.
I kind of like the way that, what's his name, Mick from Rocky 2, the way that he pronounced Italian when he was like at one point training Rocky. He was like, we're going to turn you into a 300-pound Italian tank.
Italian, yeah.
Yeah, he pronounced it like Italian. It was weird, but it was badass at the same time.
Yeah,
Hey,
you have a bunch
real-
of- you got it.
Oh no, I have a stupid question.
Oh, I want to hear stupid questions. This is why I'm here.
Well, it's anybody either in this group or in the chat currently in New Jersey. I'm stuck in Newark.
No.
I think he
Damn.
wants a drinking buddy, everybody.
Oh.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, if you ever run close by Wichita, hey, shoot me a message on Twitter or something.
Now I only go to the Northeast with this truck, sadly.
Really?
Yeah, usually the Bronx or Newark.
Okay. You live in Texas, but you go to the northeast part of the country with your semi.
To make money. It's the only reason I would ever come here.
That is quite a long fucking travel right there.
2,100 miles.
How many days? How many hours of travel is that?
Like 30 something. It takes me 3 days of 700 miles a day to make it here, but that's only if I'm at top performance.
3 days.
Yeah. You're usually more like 4, 3.5. Like, I got here yesterday on the 12th, and I left on the 9th. But, no, I left on the 8th at 6 p.m.
How much does it pay? Hopefully it pays well enough for expenses and whatnot, and for it to be worth your fucking time.
It pays enough that there's a titty club just down the road that I go to every time I'm here. No, I'm fooling. But there's a titty club down the road that a guy peer pressured me into going into.
I tell you what, I cannot get into freaking strip clubs. The last couple of times I was in a strip club, the girls there were a bit too thin.
Right? I need thick bitches, man. Thick bitches.
Exactly.
Depends on what club you go to.
Lookers in Elizabeth, New Jersey is what it's called.
Lookers?
In Elizabeth, New Jersey. Apparently a lot of famous people have gone to this strip club.
You know, there's this one strip club here in Wichita called Pleasures, and one of my coworkers actually told me of their experience going to Pleasures, and the one girl he ended up giving a lap dance to him had hands so big that one could question if she was trans.
It's a trap.
It'd be like that. You ever see that episode of Seinfeld, Manhunt?
Yeah.
It's one of
Good episode.
Yeah, that is a good episode. But I remember this was several years ago, but I once went into the titty bar, and this chick told me that Kid Rock just walked into a club like a couple months ago and walked out with like a few of the girls, the rock star.
That's great. He's a Republican, too. I love him.
Yeah,
for that reason alone.
It takes a lot of effort for the average guy to go into a strip club and walk out with a stripper, but for Kid Rock, whatever, it's easy.
I have a shit ton of cocaine and a Lamborghini. Who wants to fuck?
I know. Lucky fucking bastard, I tell you.
That'd be one hell of a pickup line. Just open the door to the bar and scream that in there, see who walks out. Make a great prank video, actually.
I don't know. Maybe I could not take a bath for several weeks and maybe fool some chicks that I am Kid Rock.
Really, he looks like the type of guy who does not take a bath.
Dude, he could be taking a bath and he might look gross. But no, did you guys see Kid Rock tried to run for Congress?
I think it was Senate, actually.
Senate? Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
He was about to, but chose not to.
Somebody else set it up.
I see.
Yeah, somebody else set it up for him as a prank, and they even made T-shirts for it and everything. And he's like, well, actually, a lot of people want me to run it, seats, because a lot of people were like, fuck it, let's get Kid Rock in here. That would have been awesome. But that's when all the celebrities, especially the Republican ones for some reason, were teasing running for office. right after Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's become the age of celebrity politics, so much so that even Dwayne Johnson be flirting the idea of running for president. Although I think that
which is the ultimate nightmare for the founders of this country. It was like the biggest thing they were afraid of was a celebrity demagogue being able to kind of charm the public.
although how much of how negative, like what's all the negatives regarding Dwayne Johnson? So because as far as I know, he's a fairly nice guy.
He's a Republican through and through.
Is he really?
Yep.
He's like a
That's what-
moderate one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, he's like a minus the cult of celebrity and the brashness of Trump. He's like a Trump Republican. Very left wing on a lot of issues, but very capitalist and patriotic. Supports the troops, all that shit.
I know that there was like this one video of a recording of him when he like took up a guitar and like before his wrestling match, he did like a song dedicated to roasting Hillary.
That was great. I saw that video circulated on Facebook. You imagine he actually just does that for his campaign?
Yeah. You know, failure hates you. You know, that guy told me I looked like Dwayne Johnson, and my response was, "What can I say except you're welcome?"
Fucking dork.
I can't stand Gary Johnson.
Who's Jerry Johnson?
Gary Johnson or Dwayne Johnson?
Dwayne Johnson.
Gary.
Yeah, we were talking about Dwayne Johnson there.
I thought I heard Gary Johnson for a minute.
No, there's a lot of Johnsons in the world.
Gary Johnson was the least
Yeah.
libertarian
I mean,
ever.
Yeah, hey, Loudmouth, you're right. There's a lot of Johnsons in the world. I mean, every guy has one.
Yeah,
I'm proud of mine.
Come on, Loudmouth. Come on, Loudmouth. You know that's good.
Oh, hey, Zach, did you watch my latest video? I didn't hear any comments on it.
If you're talking about the one on Threads, yeah, I watched it. I was just basically speechless. I left a like, but I did not have any comment to leave because I was speechless of how horrifying it was.
He just pictured him and his family roasted in the nuclear annihilation. You know.
Yeah, that was the intent. One of my longtime fans said that they couldn't sleep at night after watching the video, and I replied, "Well, then my video worked as intended."
Yeah.
You'll love this, Loudmouth. In regards to Fermi's paradox and all that shit we talked about too, and that you mentioned on your the video. My boss comes to me with weird questions because he actually knows my YouTube channel and my Twitter. Right, so he realizes I'm oddly educated on some of these political issues and shit, right? And he asked me about aliens for some reason, and I put up Fermi's paradox. And I told him to, you know, if he's not interested in your video, to watch like the last half or quarter where Fermi's paradox shows up. And my boss was freaked the shit out by Fermi's paradox. I actually made my boss's face go white. He's full-blown Mexican dark-skinned. Yeah. Like, he looked pale. And I've never seen him look pale. He is dark-skinned motherfucker. He looked pale.
Yeah, I was hoping. Yeah, Aspie commented that the video scared the shit out of him. But honestly, that's just how Threads is. You watch that video, that movie, and by the end of it, you're just emotionally drained and horrified. No other movie really just outright horrifies you the way Threads does. It is a fucking terrifying movie. I mean, that movie was just something
I was
else.
muted.
It was made in the 80s for only 400,000 pounds, and it's scarier than the vast majority of Hollywood horror films.
I need to check that out then.
Okay, well, I got a question while I got you here, Loudmouth and other people. I just started watching Game of Thrones.
Oh.
Oh,
Is
wow.
it actually worth watching and going through?
Absolutely, it is. It's awesome.
If you have
Alright,
people to talk to, yeah.
Also, don't give me any spoilers on this. But I hope I hope the Lannister kid with the Baratheon name burns alive. Fuck him, he's creepy and he deserves to burn.
Joffrey. Oh yeah, Joffrey.
Yeah. Dude, he started shooting prostitutes in his room. you know, he's a little serial killer.
Shooting. Wait, they have guns in games of Game of Thrones.
With a
Crossbows.
crossbow.
Oh yeah, crossbows. Okay.
Oh yeah, Joffrey's absolutely a psychopath. The characters.
Isn't that the little kid king?
Yeah. At the first
Not a
few
little
seasons.
kid.
of
The
it.
actor who played him was like 20, but still.
But he's 17 when he becomes king.
Yeah, his character's 17, and the actor who played him was like 20.
But still, yeah.
Shocker.
Yeah, man, like, he's beating the shit out. He's not even beating the shit out of women. Forcing women to beat the shit out of each other at crossbow point and shit and stuff.
Oh, yes, and that's not nothing in terms of the sadism that some scenes in that show go. Oh my god, the show actually gets worse.
Oh, it gets a lot worse.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I am happy that the one Targaryen dickweed guy died. Fuck him.
Oh, the brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, are you in season 2 or still 1?
Season 2, episode 7.
You have a ways to go.
He was no dragon. Fire cannot kill a dragon.
Right? I loved how he died, too. It was, I deserve a crown. Okay, bitch.
Yeah,
Just pour
man
molten,
pours gold on his head.
yeah, just pour molten gold on his fucking head. Here you go. Here's your golden
Ouch.
crown.
Ouch!
Yeah,
Ouch!
that is a painful way to die.
He deserved it, though.
He did deserve it, good, but goddamn, that was.
Dude,
How
how
many
many people in
how
the
many
show deserve it?
Okay,
It cools on him, and
Somebody
then he
should make
lands in it with a big thunk.
somebody should make a video called "1,000 Ways to Die in Game of Thrones" and just picture every single scene of a unique way of a character dying. Feature every single scene of
That's
that.
got to have been made already. Sure,
Oh,
that's out there.
Yeah, that has to be. Oh, no, the way the Valyrian slave trader died was fucking great. That woman, she is... What's her name again?
I don't
Damn.
remember any of this shit. This was season 2. This was forever ago.
I know. Don't give me spoilers.
Okay, hurry up.
What's
Hey,
the...
the Metal
what-
Minister in the chat. I have sent the link on the Discord servers if you want to join. But anyway, sorry.
what's the Targaryen woman's name?
Daenerys.
Yeah. The way she killed that slaver after taking his slaves was fucking great.
Oh, with the okay, that scene I remember.
Right.
Yeah,
and par-
Everyone watches Game of Thrones for the hot chick with the dragons, yeah.
No, she needs to die.
I don't know. No, shut the fuck up. Don't give me spoilers.
Alright.
But what I'm hoping...
I mean, maybe. I mean, she refuses to answer my text messages, and that's pissing me off.
No, but what I'm hoping happens...
Jokes.
What I'm hoping happens is that the Targaryen girl, because she doesn't like slavery, and she seems to be rather nice, although cruel in battle, like straight up cruel when it comes to war, which you have to be. It's war. I hope she takes the crown. I hope the dwarf guy restores the Lannister name to honor for the first time they've ever had, as far as I can tell. And the Starks have their kingdom up north back in alliance or within the Targaryen girl kingdom.
We actually don't
but-
really know all those questions up until the show currently. We have to see the final season for how it goes.
Yeah, but that's what I'm hoping happens. Of course, you know, dwarf guy bankrolls it. His father dies because his father's old. It's going to happen, and it's just going to happen. But
By the way, yeah, sorry, go on. Did not mean to interrupt.
yeah, and hopefully dwarf guy bankrolls this new kingdom. That's what I'm hoping.
It's impossible to talk about this without giving spoilers.
I gotta go anyway, guys. But I just wanted to talk and give congratulations to Dark.
Yep,
Dark.
thank you.
Congratulations. I hope you get some fine ale and blowjobs tonight. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Later, guys.
And make Owen watch.
Thank you.
Make Owen watch.
Yep.
Anyway, a Metal
Yeah,
Minister
then
in the
Game of
chat.
Thrones.
Sorry, this ain't OBS quality.
I'm probably gonna have to get going anyway. But before I go, Darkon, are you still up for the stream on the 27th?
Yeah, I have nothing that popped up for then. So,
Oh, cool.
yeah, we'll still have that stream talking about the war between minarchists and ANCAPs.
And I'm like, can't we all just get along? But what can I say? I mean, my circle is of minarchists, libertarians, anarcho-capitalists, and agorists. So it's
Your
like
circle is of the less partisan people.
well, my goal is to try to make things less partisan, even though I'm an ANCAP. But
Cool.
yeah,
It's not
I mean,
like it's impossible for an ANCAP to be non-partisan. Excuse me.
yeah. I mean, for some, I mean, I've run into a few ANCAPs that I've argued. Though, well, I'll save all that discussion for that stream. So, anyways, congrats on your 400 milestone. It's nice talking to you all. I'll see you all later.
See ya, Nate.
All right, bye.
Just Butts. I was just killed by a guy who was literally called Just Butts.
Just butts, huh?
Noise.
I like big butts,
Oh
and I
my
cannot lie. You other brothers can't they can't
Timothy's,
deny it, whatever.
oh god, Timothy's playing Fortnite.
Who?
Kyle. Dead Kyle's playing Fortnite.
Did you just say his real name on my stream?
He hasn't. He's already said it on Share's stream.
Okay.
Not doxing him. He's already said it multiple times.
Well, sure. Anyway, I prefer that you still call him Dead Kyle, though. I mean,
I am.
I almost had an incident regarding Aspie and his name, which he's revealed his real name before, so it ain't technically doxing, but still out of respect of courtesy. He wanted me to edit out the one part where I did mention his name. And thank God I did. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Yeah, I was trying to.
And it was on a stream that was doing so successful too. It was the one talking about the once psychopathic mother that wanted to kill her own daughter to prevent her from having sex. That stream jumped up to over 400. Over 400 views.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. That's pretty successful for a strike force. I kind of wish that I would have more that type of success with my episodes of Strike Force.
I
So
mean,
what-
anything with anything over 100 views is impressive for me. I have a channel with 19 subs, I think, and I post once a month, and it's always shit tier memes. So,
And my channel don't get. Even though I got over 3,000 subs, most of them will come from my Idiocracy video. Always copyright claims are always fucking up the views on my channel.
Right. That is a
That
sad
one with my
mistake.
Threads video. As soon as I got the claim, I knew it was fucked. I'll probably win eventually, but that pretty much prevents it from going viral. So I knew it wasn't going to do well as soon as I got the claim.
Ouch.
It pissed me off because I thought it was a good video.
It was a pretty good video,
I mean,
fairly
he didn't lose it completely.
pretty well edited and whatnot. Sorry, Brandon, I interrupted you again. He wanted to know what you were saying.
No, I'm
My
saying at
review
least
of
he didn't
Threads
lose
is
the
the
video.
most recent one I posted.
Yeah. At least he didn't lose it completely.
What?
At least he didn't lose the video completely.
No, but it won't go viral. Well, it's highly unlikely to ever go viral because of that bullshit claim.
Mm-hmm. That is an unfortunate state of affairs. But by the way, I mean, especially since it's a well-needed video, I would say. I mean, I don't even think a person really has to watch the video itself. Just the review is probably good enough to get the point through.
No, I still highly recommend people buy Threads, which is why I put the link to the Amazon, where you can buy it on Blu-ray on Amazon.com. I really think that Threads is an important movie that more people need to see.
If I was to ever watch that movie, I would probably watch it fairly early in the day, just so that I can like fill up the rest of my day with a whole bunch of fun stuff to like just. I mean, remember Threads, yeah. but just to lift up my spirits a little bit so that I can like not bring myself to tears or anything like that.
Yeah, it's betrayal of what would happen during a full-scale nuclear war. It's just so devastating, and what's scary about it is everything in that movie is scientifically accurate. There's nothing in that movie that they like exaggerate or went full Hollywood or anything. They didn't put zombies or any weird shit like that. They just show what would really happen, and it's just fucking devastating what those bombs can do.
Hey, speaking of videos, how is editing the collab going?
Honestly, I've barely started it, mostly because I've been working all week. And today, actually, I spent most of today, since it was sunny out, I went on a 9-mile run with my dog.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
So I'm, trying to lose some of the weight I put on during the winter.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll get it
especially
done
with the
eventually, but-
frigid, freezing weather that you got up in, Michigan.
Yeah, exactly. Now that I can finally get moving, I really want to get some of this weight off. So
What was that?
So I took my dog and I took her on a nice long run. She's all pooped out now. She's right here, but she's all tired. Yeah, aren't you, baby girl? Yes, you are.
So yesterday I was actually wanting to do like an evening, midweek. Well, Friday isn't exactly midweek, but it's not on Sunday afternoon when I typically do Strike Force. But Friday evening I was wanting to do like an episode of Strike Force testing out OBS, because the OBS gameplay stream that I did on my secondary channel, DarkCon Entertainment, it turned out pretty well. So I kind of wanted to test out how OBS would do for Strike Force. But unfortunately, because of Owen's bullshittery, it just distracted me away from doing that. Instead, I ended up spending most of my evening fighting with his cunt ass, over doing another smear campaign against me and a portion of us.
Uh-huh.
And then there was also the later part of the evening where I ended up joining a stream of S-Mans, and I ended up actually having a good spar with Cult of Ham on politics and whatnot. So I'll probably do like a highlights of that video, because there's this one part during that live stream where he was trying to talk about fiscal responsibility and how I am for fiscal responsibility, like cutting spending and whatnot. And so he goes like, so you're for fiscal conservatism, right? Well, then you would go for the Democrats. And I say, no, not really, especially since, especially since Bernie Sanders' healthcare plan would have raised yearly spending by $2 trillion.
More.
And then he kept on trying to like pivot the issue back to individual spending. I was like, wait, what? You were asking about government spending earlier. Now you're shifting the goalpost to individual spending. It's just, yeah.
I don't mind him. He's fine. It's just he needs to stay calm, because some of the few times I've been in a stream with him, he's gotten a bit angry, and that can get some funny videos at least out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nigger.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking.
Sorry,
of.
loudmouth. But yeah, if only he would not be as vitriolic and toxic when a person goes espousing their disagreements with him. Like he keeps on acting. It's an objective fact that Republicans are the absolute worst, which Republicans are bad and all, but to call them worse than the Democrats, that is just his opinion, but he doesn't want to admit that, hey, it's just his opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of that picture of the black hole? The Thunderfoot did a video on how they did it. It was really cool.
I seen that picture. I was quite confused, honestly. I did not know if that was supposed to be a picture of the very first picture, the very first time that they took a picture of a black hole or not, or what.
Well, More accurately, it was the picture of the event horizon. We can't actually photograph a black hole because a black hole is a singularity that's infinitesimally small. But the event horizon is 4 times the length of our entire solar system, and basically that's what that was a photo of, which is basically an area of light trying to escape its intense gravitational pull. Whereas a black hole is black because it's the gravity is so powerful, light can't escape.
A black hole is infinitesimally small, you say?
Correct.
I'm probably butchering the term right there.
Yes, it's singularity. That's it's like as big as a neuron, but it's powerful enough to bend an entire solar system.
Just compress everything.
Amounts of power.
Just compress everything down to the atomic level.
Correct. Nothing escapes a black hole. No. Another question, Zach. When you saw the picture of the black hole, you didn't have an urge to fuck it, did you?
Oh god.
Sorry, couldn't help myself making dirty jokes. What can I do?
I'm wondering if somebody could do like an Owen parody of that. Oh my gosh, Loudmouth, be talking about how black women have black holes or whatever. I don't know.
No. Just a dirty joke, and that's nothing else. Nothing more.
Yeah, tell Owen that.
All right. A crude joke, and that's it.
Crude joke never hurt anyone except for Owen's feelings.
Right.
So Zach, remember that response video I told you I was making about Owen? Well, I
Yeah.
decided to make a giant response video to everything.
Everything?
Just,
Yes. What do you mean
basically
everything?
calling out all of his bullshit.
Okay, like exactly what is it? Everything that he said on the stream with S-Man?
Just him as a person.
Oh, so
that's
basically it's going to
randomly-
be like a Owen McDonald rant, like S-Man did, essentially.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. I'm glad that
That's what I've been working on for the past couple of weeks.
yeah. Okay, yeah, I was kind of wondering of where that defense of DarkCon video was coming out, but I guess that
don't worry,
explains it.
Yeah, I am going to talk about that part, definitely, 100%. Because I said I'm calling him out on all of his bullshit. Like, this is a big project I'm working on right now.
Cool. I fully endorse that. I'm glad that
Honestly,
S-Man got back into doing the rant series, by the way, or at least for the one video where he did one about Humane Mind, you know?
Yeah.
Humane Mind, what a sad downfall that is. He actually got into an argument with My Two Cents about, I don't know exactly, I think it was about Candace Owens, and then he just randomly, Humane Mind does, just randomly brings up his associations with me, My Two Cents associating with me, and calls me a fraud. Like, he's criticizing My Two Cents for daring to associate with a fraud like DarkCon. He just lost his marbles.
Oh my god, like, remember when JJ commented saying this guy speaks the truth, and then he all fucking posts JJ's comment saying, oh, you agree that Jews run the world or some shit.
Oh, you're talking about, you're talking about freaking Owen posting a screen cap of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Basically
that
what
was
Owen
that
was
was
saying,
that was bullshit. And Owen is not going to accept the explanation that people did not hear him say Jews when he read the comment made by Godbotherer.
Yep.
He's like, no, you obviously agree with it. That's not exactly what he said, but that's just me giving a hyperbolic explanation for how he thinks, how his twisted little mind thinks.
Yeah, is it
Fucking frustrating.
Donald.
Yeah. I will give that S-Man's nickname for him, Owen Osama bin Donald, is definitely funnier and has more of a ring to it.
Jesus Christ.
But I think my name is more suiting to Owen's personality because it explains exactly what he is, a cunt. And plus, I don't think he has the balls to be a terrorist.
Yeah.
He probably just hide behind all of his flunky followers instead. Sitting in the white ivory tower, petting a kitten like he was a James Bond villain.
My thing with Owen is, 2018, I want to say August. This was back whenever Zoe, her account was something like Tomb Wraith, and it turns out she'd been lying about having health conditions. S-Man did a whole video on it, but at the time, none of us knew any of this. Okay, Zoe's just saying in the chat she's having health problems. She's put out a donation page, and she's really struggling. She's acting very depressed in the chat. She probably was very depressed. Owen's in the chat at this point. Yeah, well, Owen's in the chat at this point, and none of us know that, okay? Know that Zoe's faking. Owen repeatedly talks about how this is the fall of capitalism, and anyone who critiques him on that is just hurting Zoe. And I did a big Twitter thread on this a while back. You can probably look it up.
Oh, yeah, that was another episode of drama. Zoe was talking about whether it's true or not, how her health conditions are getting worse and how it's getting hard to pay the medical bills. And Owen goes exploiting that.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that bitch. I'm just so... It boils my... It really makes me so fucking angry.
Yeah, let's talk about other subjects, happier subjects.
Oh my god, you have no... Oh my god.
Yeah, so breaking down... I mean, Loudmouth, S-Man, and Ham already had their stream talking about that, but... So talking about happier issues, breaking down as to how Sleeping Beauty is the best of the Golden Age Disney movies. Like, by Golden Age Disney movies, I'm talking about Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, and Snow White.
What about Winnie the Pooh?
Damn it. What?
What a topic.
What about Winnie the Pooh?
Winnie the Pooh? Winnie the Pooh came more like in either the Silver Age or Dark Age of...
the first short Disney ever produced was, I believe, in 1965.
Yeah, that was out of the Golden Age. The Golden Age was like the 40s and maybe early 50s of Disney.
Wait, what's the Dark Age? Isn't
Dark
this the
Age
Dark
would
Age
be
of
the
Disney?
No, the Dark Age would be the 70s and 80s when they released the Black Cauldron and a whole bunch of other crap.
What's today then?
Yeah, come on.
Today is like, I don't know.
In that period, that's a great one.
Well, okay, yeah, there's some jewels in the pile of pebbles that is the Dark Age of Disney, but...
And is Black Cauldron really that bad? I mean, it has positive aspects. I know
it does, honestly.
It's okay. It kind of was a little ballsy in how dark it was willing to go. It was the first time...
Yeah.
It was the first PG movie Disney ever made, and that was at a time when a PG rating really meant something. I know today it's become a joke, but back in the 80s...
Yeah, freaking Inside Out is supposed
rating. That meant something.
Freaking Inside Out is supposedly rated PG. That's like
Frozen,
G-worthy.
Yeah, if those movies had come out in the 80s, they would have definitely been rated G. Like, All Dogs Go to Heaven got a G rating. And it has that nightmare scene, which is disturbing as hell, where Charlie is tortured in hell. And somehow that got a G rating. Like...
Okay, that's funny.
Yeah, The Land Before Time got a G rating, and it's horrific at times.
Hey, that's John Bluth pushing the envelope.
But yeah, John Bluth pushing the envelope. I love The Land Before Time; it's great. But goddamn, that the movie definitely went for heartbreak and tragedy most of the time. Still got a G rating.
I'm a bit curious here, guys, because when we're talking about Disney, have you guys seen the Star Wars trailer yet?
Star Wars what?
The Star Wars trailer, Episode 9.
Yeah, I'm honestly completely indifferent about it.
I'm not excited.
I haven't seen the new trailer.
You haven't?
Not yet.
There was nothing in it that actually excited me, but nothing in it that I really hated either.
I mean,
Supposedly they're dropping Rose Tico out of that movie.
Really?
That's probably a good thing, but because the worst moment in The Last Jedi by far was the scene where she
saves Finn.
Where she saves Finn and has that stupid line. Oh, it's about saving, not fighting what we hate, but saving what we love. I'm like, what
Which
the fuck's the point of a rebellion if you're not fighting what you hate?
Yeah, which was basically exactly what Finn was doing, saving who he loved by ultimately destroying the big plasma cannon.
Yeah, that would have been
Dumb
a really
ass
good
bitch.
Yeah, that would have been a good ending for Finn's character, actually.
I
If
really
Finn
thought so,
had,
too.
Heroically sacrificed himself and died there to save the Resistance, that would have actually been a very good ending for Finn's character.
I was on the edge of my seat in the theater. I was thinking, oh, this is the moment. This is the moment. This is going to be the cherry on top of Finn's character. And then they ruin it.
Then they ruined it. Exactly.
Face palmed hugely.
I liked a lot of that. I mean, I defended a lot of that movie compared to some people who just hated the whole thing. But I did hate that moment. That moment really, it didn't completely ruin the movie, but it came close.
It was funny. Ray should have died twice in the Red Guards because there was 2 instances where the Red Guards definitely could have killed her, but they had shitty choreography. So
I actually made a video on that. Yeah, the choreography there is terrible. Yeah, she might be privatized, but it's just, I mean, I like watching fight choreography. There's some great documentaries about Rocky, how they'd originally made that movie. They worked so hard on everything. Nowadays, it's a joke. It's terrible.
Yeah, and
what movie?
You know what I think? I kind of
Rocky.
agree with Red Letter Media when he says that the movie probably should have ended right after the death of Snoke. That that moment when when Kylo Ren gives out his hand to Rey and said, "Come with me." All right, and all right. Where it kind of should have just had her taking his hand, and then the movie ends. I'm actually
sets up Luke for episode 9.
That probably would have been a better ending to that movie if they had just omitted the entire end of it.
Yeah, it would have been.
Red Guard.
But I really, maybe, but I would have really liked them to kept Snoke alive because there was so much mystery around the guy.
No, I disagree. I actually loved what happens to Snoke. It was a good example of being completely unexpected in a way it built up to that moment. I actually thought that was a really well executed scene.
I mean, the problem though is for episode 9, what's the threat? They don't have a Death Star. Tons of them are dead. We've seen Rey beat Kylo. Hux is now a joke instead of kind of an interesting character. I mean, what's the threat now? What are they actually?
Snoke is dead. I mean, people
That's
have been
why
theorizing.
I don't have that much interest in the next installment.
Oh, wait! No! We do have a threat, guys. DarkCon, you haven't seen the trailer, and I mean, you need to watch the trailer, but I'm gonna spoil it for you. At the end, the Emperor's left. The Emperor's coming back for episode 9.
Oh, fuck!
I just remembered that. Yeah.
But they showed that in the trailer.
They just gave his laugh at the last few seconds, and it's been confirmed. Ian McDonald's coming back for it.
It sounded like you said Ian McDonald, but I know who you're talking about. Ian McDermott.
McDermott. Not McDonald, but yeah,
Right.
but
I'm
that is
getting my
kind of
wires
interesting.
crossed.
Yeah, they could do something interesting with that. With at the end there. I don't know. We'll see how the movie turns out.
Honestly, they're trying to make money out of it now. I mean that's what episode 7 was. It was obvious. With episode
Every
9,
movie is made to make money, but yeah, can you believe that Star Wars really has financially crashed so fast? They went from The Force Awakens made $2 billion at the box office, and then Solo grosses only $380 million. Actually, loses money, I believe, overall.
Yeah, and I think Solo is a better movie than Last Jedi overall.
I don't agree because at least I could see everything went on in The Last Jedi. Who the fuck shot Solo? It's so fucking dark. You can't see half the fucking movie. It's horrible to look at. It's an ugly eyesore.
Well, not. I mean, with Solo also at the end with Darth Maul coming back, it was just an absolute mess of a movie. But
I didn't see the point of that.
With episode 8, the one redeeming thing I have to say about The Last Jedi is Ryan Johnson, and I think he did it terribly. He wasn't focused on just trying to make money off the movie. He wanted it to be a creative project. I think he failed
that's
miserably.
something I gave the movie credit, even though the movie does have some significant problems. I will at least admire it's probably the only Disney Star Wars movie that they've made since getting hold of the property that doesn't feel just like relentless fan service. Like they actually wanted to surprise fans to do something new. So I kind of give the movie credit for that, even though it didn't always do it that well, but at least it tried to do something new. Whereas for The Force Awakens and Rogue One and Solo were pretty much just mostly made for pandering fan service.
And what you said earlier about Solo being a mess. See, I don't agree of it necessarily being a mess, but it was pretty jam-packed. They tried to pack all these story arcs like a can of sardines into one movie. Like
I
you
won't
had
say it's a mess, but it's messy at times.
you had the Kessel Run, him meeting Lando, him buying the Falcon off of Lando, and him like joining the freaking Imperial pilots or whatever. You had all that packed into one movie.
Right. And I remember Honest
felt
Trailers
kind of rushed.
did a joke about the lighting, said it's Star Wars lit like they're in witness protection. I'm like, exactly.
I do like the fist fight between Chewbacca and Han Solo. That was entertaining.
That was kind of entertaining. And
Yeah, I'd say the best
Kessel
part of
Run
that movie
itself
was
pretty
Han
cool
Chewie.
looking. I like the giant space monster they created. That was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, they had the Kessel Run. They had to explain the background for that. Yeah, every single possible Han Solo reference that they could think up of, they decide, all right, we're going to explain.
That's what I'm
this
saying.
movie.
Relentless. They
Ugh.
were obsessed with packing in fan service at the expense of telling a new, different story.
And then Darth Maul shows up at the end. What on earth?
Yeah, like I said, it was just a mess of fan service.
It's like they were trying to somewhat copy what Marvel was doing. It's like have some reveal at the end, and it didn't work.
No, it didn't. But I don't dislike any of the Disney Star Wars movies, but none of them blew me away.
Honestly, the prequels, I don't think they're great, but I can rewatch them with my little brother and have fun. And you know, they spawned the video games, the universe was expanded, a lot of good came from them, and I'm not seeing anything like that with this new trilogy.
Well,
It's just
the main thing, back to the whole constant fan service thing, say what you want about the prequel movies being flawed films, they at least were original stories. They
had a goal.
They did have some references and fan service to the original trilogy in them, but they weren't overbloated with that. They felt like they were new, different stories in the Star Wars universe. Whereas
I enjoyed Revenge of the Sith just as much as
Revenge of the Sith is a really good movie. Yeah,
the first two were a little bit. I mean, the first two were a little bit there, but the third one, I thought it was a good way to finish that trilogy. I thought it was a strong movie.
the beginning of episode 2 and all of episode. The beginning of episode 2 is great.
Hey, have you guys ever seen Bandit Incorporated?
No.
That guy is a movie reviewer, and he did like a series called what was it exactly called? It was called How Star Wars Should Have Been, and it was like he was like theorizing as to how Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith should have been. And in the Revenge of the Sith, you have seen that, Wolf?
Yeah. I thought it was really, really clever. I thought, that would have made more sense.
Okay, what I did not like the most about his version of Revenge of the Sith was the fact that he overpowered Darth Sidious. Like, Darth Sidious is just like single-handedly destroying like a shit ton of Jedi, all with basically the snap of his fingers to sum it up.
That seems like bullshit, because actually my least favorite moment in all of Revenge of the Sith was that fact that he just kills 3 Jedi Masters. They weren't Padawans, they were Jedi Masters.
Yeah.
Like they were nothing in that one fight scene at the end.
Yeah,
like,
and then Bandit,
better deaths.
And then Bandit Incorporated basically took that and multiplied it by 5.
So okay, then I can safely say you don't know what he's talking about.
Well, there are some interesting things about it, like Darth Sidious. He gets a vision as to what his own death will be and when he'll have his own death, and basically that is just an inner turmoil that he'll be living with from that moment up until Star Wars Episode 6. I thought that was like a pretty interesting insight of the possibility that they could have gone with Revenge of the Sith. You know what's also something? They mentioned they had like a nice little plot twist of, hey, Luke and Leia, they weren't actually twins. They were like two of a set of triplets.
Oh, it's a third, huh?
Yeah, and the third one was like taken off into this one part of the galaxy, or not even the Star Wars galaxy. I think it's an entirely different galaxy where time is like just slowed down for them. And they were talking.
That would be an very odd retcon. And let's be honest, Luke and Leia being brother and sister was absolutely not originally planned when they made the first two Star Wars movies.
Yeah, looking back on it, I don't think they really had to do it, but I still consider Star Wars Episode 6 to be my best of
the original.
them all.
The original script for Return of the Jedi, Luke's sister, was going to be a new character they introduced.
Oh, really?
So that probably would have been a better idea than retconning it the way they did and saying, no, Leia, this chick you've known the whole time and made out with in the last movie was your sister. Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure George Lucas, even though he made some changes, 99% he had these ideas in his head for a while. And it was just, what combinations is he going to put out there? I mean, you look at the current trilogy, we've had multiple directors for multiple movies. We halfway through the trilogy switched directors, and now we're switching back. I mean, there's no plan. They don't know what they're. I don't know how they're going to finish it.
One of my favorite things that has ever been produced by the sort of Star Wars thing was that. But I don't know whether anyone's read it. It's it's like a series of books. Like each one is like a written as a Shakespeare play. And so all the characters and the illustrations are beautiful. That they sort of juxtapose the space opera, but then they've got like interesting outfits on. So they've got like I don't know, they're wearing like fancy sort of Victorian outfits that have it, and the illustrations are beautiful. But it's so interesting to see it done as a Shakespeare tragedy. And it's like it seems like a weird idea, but it's so correct. Like when you actually read it, it's so well. It's like. That's how you can teach Shakespeare in school.
I got a question. Have any of you guys played the Star Wars video games, the ones of Kyle Katarn? You know who Kyle Katarn is, right?
No.
I don't think so.
I played a few Star Wars video games, but that name doesn't ring a bell. I remember the Star Wars Starfighter series on the PlayStation 2. I had a lot of fun with those.
Well, Star Wars Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast. That's one of the video games I'm talking about. And then there's Star Wars Jedi Academy as well. They both kind of follow the story of Kyle Katarn. Well, actually, Jedi Academy still has Kyle Katarn in it, but he's more of a mentor type figure for the player that you're actually playing, which is kind of Kyle's apprentice.
Know what they should do when they continue making Star Wars movies, which they inevitably will? They need to make like a Knights of the Old Republic, a movie adaptation of those games.
I would like to see that. I do not want the Skywalker storyline to be followed along any further. I want them to explore characters and stories outside of the Skywalker storyline.
Yeah, we had that. George Lucas did it. I think it's time for it to be retired.
Yes, preach. But as I was trying to get at in the Kyle Katarn storyline, basically Luke Skywalker already has like the Jedi fully revived, and he has his own full academy with like dozens of apprentices. Like, in the new trilogy that Disney has made, he only had like maybe one or two or a few, but he did
more. He did rebuild the Jedi Temple. And he kind of started a new Jedi Order, and then it all went to shit a couple years before the events of The Force Awakens.
I don't know. I don't know if how exactly they would be able to like fit the Kyle Katarn
I don't think
storyline
that's
into
canon
that
anymore. They pretty much made like I think that
Yeah.
would be considered part of the Legends universe, where they culled most of the expanded universe before Disney bought it, and they basically said none of that shit's canon anymore.
Well, you can try to revive parts of it, but one thing I was interested about is about the Jedi Temple he made was the Knights of Ren. We never have heard from them again, and they were one of the things I
Yeah.
was most
They
psyched for
better
for
do
today.
something with them in Episode 9.
I really hope
Yep.
so.
Damn it.
And mostly what I really only want to see is they could do a Knights of the Old Republic movie, or they could do like movie
Series.
adaptations of some of the old expanded universe books, kind of bring them into canon, but modify anything that doesn't fit into their new canon, but do kind of a base adaptation of some of the better books there. One really interesting one, this was a Clone Wars novel I read a long time ago called Shatterpoint, where that had followed Mace Windu going after his own former Padawan of his that they think deflected to the other side. It was kind of cool because it was set in this jungle world, and it was essentially a Star Wars version of Apocalypse Now. I was thinking like a movie adaptation of something like that could be like really cool.
Well, the
Something
thing
like
is,
really different out there.
Disney are going to want to have something that they can guarantee some kind of money on. One thing
But
I was always
probably won't do it, I know, but like a Star Wars version of Apocalypse Now, which is what that novel did, would be really cool.
Well, I was going to say, one of the things that has consistently kept a large fan base is the Clone Wars and all properties surrounding that. I'm not sure they're going to do any more movies about it, but I mean, there's some potential there for more money for Disney, so I have to wonder if they're looking at that for the future.
I don't think they have to milk that so much. They have the Clone Wars series. They have the prequel trilogy. I think they can just leave that as be. I want to see like an Old Republic movie that features parts of like the Jedi of the Republic versus Sith Empire wars, because there's lots of lore
and they could
around
do
that.
they could also do animated movies in the universe. I know, like something with an actual budget. The Clone Wars movie they released in 2008 doesn't really count per se because it was essentially made as a television movie that they kind of later decided to put in the big screen. You could tell the budget was like way below the money that Pixar or DreamWorks were spending on animated movies. I mean, like something natively produced, an animated movie with a theatrical sized budget could be really cool. And they could set it in any obscure period because it's animation. They can do whatever you want.
Yeah, they certainly have plenty of options, but
and yet they seem kind of stumped on what to do.
Well, the thing is, they lost money on Solo, and the merchandise is still selling well, but it really is going to be, we're going to see what happens after episode 9, whatever happens, happens, and it's going to be a blank slate in some ways. They're going to have options. Do they continue this? Or?
With the money they've lost on Solo, I don't think Disney's actually turned a profit from buying Star Wars. Because keep in mind, they spent $4 billion to get the rights to make Star Wars movies.
Oh, but man, the
I don't know if the
merchandising
profits have been greater than that yet.
Merchandise, all the BB-8 plushes.
Maybe it probably has, but I'm not sure.
1 second. The 4 Star Wars feature films Disney's released since 2015 have grossed more than $4.8 billion at the box office. So yeah, they're at an $800 million profit right now, or as of October 30th, 2018.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
I can believe that. Obviously,
I mean, Star Wars is big. Come on,
that doesn't really count on the fact that they spent hundreds of millions in those movies and marketing them, distributing them. A lot of cost, but then again, probably the merchandising revenue those produced from all the stuff they created for it probably means that the budgets pay for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony. Also, you can hold on to the title for 10 more years, and with no new movies, they'll make it back. But the question I have is: are you going to see Rey, Finn, that cast, Poe for 3 more movies? Is that going to happen?
No, please no.
Probably not. But what was it? Disney was trying to start their own sci-fi franchise before they bought Star Wars with John Carter, but it was a big flop.
John Carter.
And with that one, they wouldn't have even needed to pay anyone for the copyright because John Carter of Mars is old enough that he's in the public domain.
Oh,
They
I
could have
remember
adapted all
that
those old
movie.
books and without paying any copyright fee.
John
But they-
Carter was too cheesy. Like it had the qualities of a B movie.
It did, but it cost $250 million, and it ended up losing them over $100 million bucks. It did not make its money back. Because keep in mind, a movie needs to earn twice its budget in order to break even, at least twice its budget. So if a movie only made a little bit more than what it cost to make, it lost money. And that's the case with John Carter. It made $270 million on a $250 million budget. It lost quite a bit of money.
Oh, we're talking about Disney needing to make money. They're making a Lady and the Tramp live action remake.
Oh,
What?
no.
No. Good
Yep.
Lord, no,
They
please.
keep doing it.
Yeah, these live action remakes, and some of them have made a ton of money, even though very few of them have been any good. In fact, Maleficent, I thought, sucked. I hated that movie so much.
Hey, speaking of live action remakes, what did you guys think of the Christopher Robin live action movie?
Didn't see it.
It was okay, but it was very pandering. You could tell that it was targeting, as its main audience, adults who watched the Winnie the Pooh cartoons when they were children.
Right. I mean, that's kind of me.
Targeting childhood nostalgia of adults, and it kind of is overly pandering to that. Because of course, Christopher Robin in this movie is an adult, whereas a kid in the original movies, and of course, a lot of adults today were kids when they watched it, and they see that a child character they grew up watching now as an adult, just as they're now adults. It was very obvious what they were pandering to. And it was an okay movie. It was not bad, but I thought it could have been better.
Yeah, but at first I thought the idea of these cartoon characters that I know and love being transformed into CG, it was jarring at first, honestly, but I got quickly used to it.
The animation on them, the stuffed animal versions of them was really good.
Yeah, the stuffed animals, it was realistic, but it was still at first kind of
And they got the
jarring.
same
It took
voice
some getting
actors.
used to. It took some getting used to.
Yeah, they got the same voice actors. So I think from the '90s cartoon, like
They
Jim
got
Cummings,
Jim
who voiced
Cummings.
Winnie the Pooh,
Yeah.
who's been voicing Winnie the Pooh for almost 30 years, was back voicing him in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I did enjoy the movie just because Jim Cummings, Winnie the Pooh, is just a really charming character.
I really found
I like
Eeyore to be
her.
pretty freaking funny.
Huh?
In that movie. I found Eeyore to be pretty funny with his dialogue.
Yeah.
Lady and the Tramp, like, how are they going to do the Siamese cat scene? Because that's the best part of the movie. It's like, but then they got to think,
Lonely Wolf, you racist.
Yeah, probably. I haven't seen the new Dumbo, but I would bet money the crows aren't in it.
the crows are not in it, but they've got to have the Siamese cats into the.
You know,
in
okay.
Lady and the Tramp.
I'm going to say, I mean, we all know that freaking, what's his name? What's the director's name? That is going to be directing Dumbo. Tim Burton. Damn it. Why didn't I remember his name? We all know that Tim Burton sucks at making remakes, but I think that something as loony and as not good, like in my personal opinion, Dumbo wasn't that good, and I don't think it struck real good to audiences for the
come on,
lifetime.
Dumbo was the greatest. I could always relate to that character as a kid.
I don't know, but anyway, I think that
And
is
the
something that
crows.
Tim
I
Burton.
love that how politically fucking incorrect that scene is and how it could never be made today.
Well, anyway,
Goddamn.
as I was trying to say, I think that is something that Tim Burton could pull off, even though it's totally unneeded because it's corny. It's got some rather fascinating imagery in it with the whatnot of the moments of him having delusions when he's drunk. Dumbo, I mean, I think that's something that Tim Burton could easily pull off.
You know, I would say that couldn't be done today, but then again, The Good Dinosaur, which came out just a couple years ago, did essentially the same thing, where you have the character get high.
No, because they wouldn't dare to do the Siamese cats. Because even Mary Poppins, that was made years ago. Like even that's being like pandered as like some extremists are calling it racist because you know the scene where they're in the chimney and like they've got because she's got soot on her face. They said,
which is possibly the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, it's like Mary Poppins in blackface. It's racist.
There was some racist stuff in old Disney cartoons, but that is not an example of it.
No, it's like you accidentally get. I mean, you can't change soot white just because to fit whatever it is. It's just that's what it is. Like if you're in a chimney, your face is going to be. Have you guys
seen the scenes that cut out of Fantasia? The one racist stereotype that was in the original Fantasia that they cut out, and it has not been seen in any home video version.
I did not see that.
Fantasia has never been released uncut on any format. But there was these scenes that were in the original 1940 release, and they actually were cut out way back in 1967. So even in the late 60s, it was seen as going too far, and they have not been seen since. But I think they are available online, where they have this like racist centaur scene, which is pretty out there.
Racist centaur.
There's these small black centaurs which act as servants to the main ones that we see in the current version.
Yeah, because when I
bad makeup, yeah, it's pretty bad.
Because when I think of centaurs, I immediately think of black people.
Well, this definitely was a racist caricature, no doubt.
Well, I don't deny that that's what they were trying to aim for, but the fact that they portray black people as centaurs, that doesn't really make much sense to me.
Racist caricatures were very common in cartoons from that time, from the 1930s and 40s. If you go really to the dawn of animation and you see some uncensored works from that era, it's actually quite shocking. There are a lot of racist stereotypes in cartoons. So they have trouble. A lot of the time, they're censored with their rebroadcast today, or with some of the more racist stuff cut out, or some cartoons they just won't circulate anymore.
So it doesn't even matter. Like the stereotypes didn't even have to make sense.
No. No, not at all. During the war, there were quite a few with offensive Japanese stereotypes that made it in some cartoons.
Oh, I've seen some Looney Tunes there. Yeah.
Yeah, some Looney Tunes where he fights the Japanese, and they get pretty racist.
There is, for example, the way that they portrayed Japanese in the Popeyes cartoons. There's some where he was like legitimately fighting in World War II. Like I say, those seem to be the more down to earth. I mean, minus the racial stereotypes, it still seems like a more down to earth Popeye, in my opinion. The ones where he's like fighting in the war. I mean, it just makes sense for some reason to me.
There was this one
that he would be fighting in World War II.
There are actually uncensored Blu-ray releases of old cartoons, but they have like these warning labels that they put on the beginning. Some of these cartoons featured racist stereotypes. All right, and we reject these stereotypes, but we're preserving them for historical purposes. But there's like that image that appears before the Blu-ray begins. And the Tom and Jerry Gold Collection, there's this one scene when Tom and Jerry chased into a closet, and Jerry finds some shoe polish there. He rubs it all over himself, and he walks out with everything except his lips showing, all right, in blackface. I'm like, holy shit. Welcome to the 1940s.
Oof.
Yeah,
that is actually very common in cartoons from the 30s and 40s. They were not uncommon.
Jeez, I'm trying to get in contact.
That's history as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
you censor those cartoons, you're censoring the past.
I'm not saying oh geez to that stuff. I'm saying oh geez because I'm trying to get in contact with some personal friends. Like I asked them ahead of time if they were like interested in hanging out this Saturday, and by this Saturday I mean today. They haven't gotten back to me if they were available or not yet.
Oh.
Hey Wolf, your bird is just adorable. Oh my gosh.
This one's still a baby.
Maybe if I was to actually give him a phone call or something. Yeah, I don't know. I think I might actually leave this call right now. I mean, I've pretty much burned my entire day just responding to idiots on Twitter. The biggest one of them all
Yeah, I'm
being
trying to.
Owen.
Yeah, I've been trying to avoid that. I spent most of my day with my dog running.
I mean, I guess the one thing I have to say about that is like that and because with Darkon, because you have made some very like sort of pro LGBT statements and actions in the past. I sort of don't agree with the idea that it's sort of there's one aspect that you don't agree with, like the idea of sort of the I guess like the gender neutral sort of things or whatever, or gender ambiguity,
gender non-binary, gender spectrum type stuff.
Yeah, and even though and the
Owen
thing is,
acts like that's a deal breaker, and instantly, just because of that, I'm instantly anti-LGBT, despite the fact that I, as a libertarian, think that they should be allowed to have their transgender procedures and allowed to have their sexual relationships.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I mean, that's the category that I fall into as the well, I never actually call it explicitly non-binary because it's a very cold sort of term to use. I think of it as like an abstract. It's I don't, like I can get into it like in more detail if you wanted like another sort of discussion, but it's basically I sort of have a different philosophy. But even though I fit into that category, 'cause
we have one stream where a couple of years back where we talked about this. I don't know if it's necessary to have another long drawn out conversation about it.
No, it's yeah, it's just one of those. I mean, I've had my share of sort of dysphoria over the years or whatever, but you know, at the same time, it's one of those concepts. It's an abstract sort of thing, so people are going to disagree with a lot of things. It's going to cause disagreement, and the problem is that because of that one, it's that one thing that we disagree on. It doesn't necessarily mean that I can sort of say all the letters of the LGBT alphabet have been. No, not even trans people, because that's the thing. Because a lot of people in the poor bastards, like in these circles, have sort of done things that are very pro sort of LGBT. I mean, like a lot of people really stuck up for for Lapis, and then that was the reason. Like the anti-LGBT stuff, that was the key, one of the pivotal moments where people sort of shied away from Humane Mind. Like that was one of the big tipping points, and so that is we can't just
you really went too far with that shit.
Yeah, and so we can't just like put that under the rug, and just because there's one aspect that like I might not agree with you on and you might not agree with me on, it doesn't, like, you can't just erase the fact that there's been a lot of cases where I felt like people have had my backs in terms of asexuality and whatever, because I'd like to think that people have sort of maybe learn a bit more about that sort of thing. That maybe
I mean, my attitude with sexuality is if it feels good and doesn't hurt anyone, do it. So if you
and I think that's the right attitude to have.
Yeah,
I mean, imagine
I'm totally straight, but having somebody else being transgender or gay or whatever doesn't really affect me in any way negatively. So why should I care?
I mean, imagine if somebody was to like show Owen the one video that I made calling out basically Humane Mind and his bullcrap. Owen would probably make the cockamamie excuse to trash me over it. Oh, it's because of the approach that he took. He would probably, well, I don't know what exactly he would say, but he would probably essentially be bitching about the approach that I took to my conclusion. Like, my conclusion is basically the same thing as everyone else. That, yeah, Humane Mind is being shitty and he's wrong and pretty much borderline homophobic, and he's wrong for generalizing LGBT people to be a supportive of pedophilia. But the approach that I have is a little different.
That went really far,
But the approach I have to it is the most that I could find. I mean, if he was to find stats, he would have more of a case of it. But here's the thing. The stats are not in his favor. Like, it's not like a super majority of LGBT people actually support pedophilia.
No, not even close. As a matter of fact, from what I read, most gay rights organizations have rejected minor attracted people, pedophiles, what have you, when they try to like come into their communities and use their same rhetoric, a lot of them have vocally opposed them.
But here's the thing: when I searched up the stats on the support of LGBT or the support of pedophilia, the most that I could find in my search was how many people in the LGBT community, or how many people that commit pedophilia are LGBT. And it showed that about 30% of them, of pedophiles, are gay people. But here's the thing. I mean, yeah, 30% committed by 1% of the, well, okay. Basically, gay people are overrepresentative of that crime.
Well, yeah, that would, since the whole LGBTQ community is about 5% of the population, that would probably make them overrepresented there, yeah.
It would make them overrepresented, but here's the thing. Even overrepresentation, an overrepresentation can still be a minority within a given group.
Right, exactly. That's exactly the point.
It's the same thing with when it comes to black crime statistics. I mentioned in that video of mine talking about Humane that, let's take black crime statistics, for example. You have like 10, or what is it, 10, 15% of the population representative of 50% of homicides. But that doesn't mean that black people, we're going to generalize them as a whole bunch of homicidal maniacs. No, that doesn't make sense.
No.
Doesn't make sense on a statistical and logical level, and it is racist, I will say. If you were to generalize them as that.
The causal factors at play, like, lower income areas support crime. And
there's nothing whatsoever racist about bringing up that black Americans do have higher crime rates. There's nothing racist. It really pisses me off when even bringing that fact up is called racist by some on the far left.
Yeah.
But if you try to use that to say that all black people were inherently criminals, that would absolutely be racist.
Yeah, exactly. And because of me bringing up that little factoid, Owen would probably be complaining about my video, saying how I'm dog whistling, how I'm racist, and you know what? I'm to the point. I'm to the point of saying
stats are very clear. He's on that one.
The dog whistling one. The dog whistling does go both ways. I mean, because that's what I've sort of I've mentioned that before with some people. Like it's S-Men Dark on just about everyone in this sort of circle. It's like, okay, so when you sort of when you had a falling out with Humane over that sort of thing, and it was revolved around an LGBT issue, I could easily say, well, you guys you're dog whistling to progressive politics.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
known for, how progressive I am. Yeah.
I am pretty much to the point that dog whistles means absolutely nothing. Like, for example, if a person believes in freaking states' rights, people will claim that that's a dog whistle to, oh, you just want black people to be discriminated against. But
what it is, it's a way to justify straw manning somebody.
Exactly. That's why that I dismiss it.
That's what the whole term dog whistling is. I want to straw man somebody, blatantly do so, but I need a way to justify it, so I'll come with the term dog whistling.
Use the word dog whistle, and then it's kind of a way of flattening out the slippery slope that's trying to be made.
Right.
Yep. But yeah, that's an example of us being defensive of the LGBT community. And Owen,
it's absurd to equate being attracted to someone of the same sex who's your own age is in any way equivalent, because of course adults can consent to sex because they're mentally able to understand it, whereas children are not. That's the issue. That's why pedophilia is wrong, because kids can't consent to sex, whereas adults can't.
Exactly. Yeah, the LGBT community, if there's one thing conservatives have often mocked them for, is that they have an extremely high focus on consent. And kids
can't consent.
Everything you hear about in college is about consent. And the fact that he couldn't realize that they were pro-consent, it's just, Humane is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Humane was using anecdotes to try and justify his generalization is the thing.
Confirmation bias as well.
Yeah. I mean, you cannot use anecdotes to generalize an entire organization. or an entire group. Excuse me.
5% of the population, you know.
Yeah.
One out of every 20 people are in that general range.
Test Man did a good. I mean, that video was very interesting. Like, there's sort of things. I mean, I was tilting my head the other way because the minute I start tilting my head the other way and start crossing my eyes, that's when someone said something super retarded.
Humane's rhetoric on bisexuality just made me lose a few brain cells.
What do you say?
Attraction. It's like I wonder if he is actually, because this is not like I'm not doing this as like a joke or anything, but I think genuinely like he's somewhere on the autistic spectrum, because that's like that's one of the things that some people do, because I've seen that.
He probably is. I am too. So you know,
but when it comes to reading comprehension, there's some people who are, not all people on the spectrum will have this, but some people, like, one of the characteristics is the use of literal language. They're sort of unable to grasp figurative versus literal language, and that's one of the things. Like the idea that you kind of,
I'm very highly literal myself, so yeah.
Yeah, but not to that. I mean, that's an extreme case where you're sort of taking a literal meaning and you're thinking, okay, the context of this text, you know, it's got the word attraction, but if you think about the context, it's implied that we're talking about sex. Like, that's usually the inference that most people make.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder of what would happen if people were to actually point out examples like this, how we were all against Humane on that, to Owen. He'd probably just ignore it, sweep it under the rug.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it can't be. You can't erase that from, like, even if there's things that we're going to disagree on, like that's things we're probably going to have a fundamental difference of opinion when it comes to, like, some aspects of LGBT, like the idea of gender ambiguity or whatever. But at the same time, like, all the other letters are there. Like, just because of one point, like, you can't just erase the other stuff that is there. It doesn't quite work that way.
It's a thing that Mod Wayne always brings up in his streams. Like, Mod Wayne Alarin, have any of you guys watched him every now and again?
Who?
Mod Wayne Alarin.
Yeah, I like him.
No.
Okay, well, Mod Wayne Alarin in his streams, and even in an off-air chat that I had with him, he goes basically jerking himself off to how we can all have like a, by we all, he means himself and everybody in his house of fun. Like myself, Carlos Castrejo, who was on the stream a lot earlier in this stream, all the rest of them, John the Bemused, all of them can, like, disagree with each other, but still be decent people with another. But unfortunately, that's not the case with Owen. I kind of wish that Mod Wayne's, you know, saying of how we can disagree with each other and still get along actually applied with Owen, but unfortunately that's not the case, and that is why we will forevermore probably never change the fact that we'll be enemies with him. I mean, especially myself. I mean, I know that Loudmouth isn't as harsh, and Lonely Wolf even less so. Blue Republic is probably more closer to me when in this hangout when it comes to vitriol against you, Owen.
I know vitriol towards the guy. I don't really think about him much.
I mean, with Owen,
you know, here's the thing. I did not interact with the guy for weeks. All day yesterday, I interacted with the guy until the moment that he decided to look at my Twitter feed and find out the way that I answered a question when it comes to abortion. Like, here, let me bring up the freaking Twitter thing. You know that picture that has been circulating around the internet for a while? One like equals one opinion, and then it goes asking 16 different or 20 different positions. All right. So let me bring up Hangouts again so I can screen share this.
I didn't get enough likes, so I actually made a video about that, going through each of the 20 points. So I just did it as a live stream.
So here it is. Finally doing this thing. Here we go. One like for one opinion. And this, how I answered the question on abortion, generally against it legally, totally against it morally, except for life of mother. But I even wish abortion didn't have to be done for those cases. Ban it for everything except life of mother after 7 weeks of conception. He decided to go out of his way, screen cap that, say, some scummy conservative as my name, and then go ranting and raving and smearing my positions and whatnot. Again, like, I didn't even interact with the guy. He just has some obsession with me and my abortion beliefs. This is why I can't stand him. And he goes wondering why the fuck is it that I don't like about the guy. He lacks self-awareness.
Well, the thing with
either that or he is intentionally an evil little fuck.
He's lied about me outright on Twitter about stuff, and it took me a while to kind of try to discredit some of it. But I've talked to him in the group chat over a year ago, probably, or maybe about a year ago, and I talked to him, and we decided with Vanguard we were going to have a debate on a stream. Talked to him, try to get it set up, never gets back to me. And then weeks later, he's back to, occasionally quoting a tweet or something like that, and just being his usual self. And it's just, I can't deal with him.
I actually tried to arrange a debate with him sometime last year. Like, after I had posted my Jostlegate review video, he commented on that. There was a huge Twitter argument and whatnot over that. And then I challenged him to come onto my channel for a debate. He never got back to me to confirm that we were still on.
Yeah.
That we were still on for that. Like, I asked him the day before, hey, are we still on for this? Never got back to me.
And the thing is, his arguments aren't very creative either. I mean, he's a stereotype Twitter socialist. And I mean, I used to be a Trotskyist. I've read tons of leftist works. I was very interested years back, but there's a lot of different ways of approaching problems. And since I've known and communicated with tons of socialists in this field, and his type is the Twitter warrior socialist. It isn't very creative, isn't well thought out, and it actually kind of contradicts himself sometimes. Whenever talking about capitalism, trying to quote Marx, and in some ways, he just misrepresents Marx, and then he kind of moves into the not Trotskyist, kind of more of a Leninist mode, and he switches in between them, and I don't. Maybe it's just to attract more followers. Maybe he knows more about it himself, but when this is why I tried to have a debate with him, and he never got back, and he's hasn't really changed since I've talked to him. His views never seem to really develop. It's the same arguments. You bring up the same points, and
if anything, he's gotten worse with his rhetoric and his treatment of other people who disagree with him.
Yeah.
Like, at one point, it was all like, oh, I disagree with Zach on abortion. Okay, let's talk about it. Then it gone to the point of, S-Man, your friends are garbage or something like that. And then he asks him, what's the problem with Zach? And he says, he opposes abortion. And then later it develops into, he's anti-bodily autonomy. He's a scumbag. Then now it develops into, anti-abortionists are a terror threat.
What?
See, it developed that low.
I mean, I don't go for the guilt by association thing.
That's some bullshit right there.
It really is.
Just,
and I'm thankful for Reckless Trucker for pouncing on him for that piece of crap right there. Like, that's almost bordering on slander. To the same effect of Humane Mind slandering LGBTs for being supportive of pedophilia. I'm sorry. Owen, you're such a fucking joke.
What happened?
You're nothing. I'm just thinking about how Owen has degenerated in his character, and now I'm just giggling and and I guess megalomania right now over him.
Oh no, it's just I might still my Twitter mentions. It's still popping up. People are trying to pick a fight. Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of like just so that I don't completely spurg out. I just kind of like because that's. I mean, the thing is, I only go by. I'm only really take myself responsible for my own kind of YouTube channel, and that's what I'll espouse what I believe on there, and that's pretty much as far as it goes. But the whole, I'm just going to be honest. The reason that I do, Google Hangouts and stream is not so much to contribute to like discourse, but it's mainly just because there's people I get along with, people I genuinely like, and it's mainly for company. Like I don't think anyone really takes me seriously either as an intellectual person, in discussions or whatever. I don't even take myself seriously when it comes to that sort of thing. Only on my own channel can I sort of do I really sort of craft things that are pre-planned. But when it comes to the streaming, it's purely a social.
You're good. You're good for a cordial hangout. You add some extra flavor to a hangout call. I mean, yeah, I will be honest. You're not exactly the strongest debater or sparring partner on politics in general, but that's okay. I mean, neither is Conundrum. In all honesty, sorry, Conundrum, but he's even admitted himself that he's not the best on politics.
No, I mean, I'm a good debater, but it has to be like a neutral topic. That's because that's when I did because I took part in the debate show where I just took a topic, and I don't believe in this at all, but I just took the position, okay, so sex robots are a bad thing versus good thing. So that was the topic of the week's debate, and I just said, okay, I'll just take this negative position. Then I just tried to craft an argument or something like that, and then I managed to get the most number of points. So it works well. If it's something that's close to me or whatever, then I don't debate it. I'm not very good at that. I try to stay away from those debates because I know that I won't do very well.
Hey, can I read this? I need to read this Owen tweet off because it's just, I'm getting kind of dogpiled in some of these, but he's quote tweeting me, and he says, my wording was fine, and he quotes himself, regardless of genitalia, trans women attract heterosexual men because trans women are women, and women attract heterosexual men. And then one of his followers says, would you seriously be attracted to a woman, then reject her for having a penis? That's pretty transphobic. And my point I was trying to make to him was heterosexual people who are attracted to a trans woman and then found out she has a penis and are less attracted aren't bigoted. That's just their sexual orientation.
It's their bodily.
I'm not attracted to men. All right, I'm not attracted to anything of the male body, including the penis. I am attracted to a woman's body.
Like, here's the thing: a heterosexual guy can at first be attracted to a trans female if they look the part enough. Like, for example, Blair White. But
Blair White wasn't. It was trans in the beginning.
Well,
something about her is watching her. Something about this chick is just off. I could just see it. I'm like, and when I found out she was trans, I'm like, oh, that explains it.
Okay, yeah, that's you, but that's besides the point, anyways. But when a person goes to find out what she has for her package, a person will realize, I don't want to be in bed with that person. Sorry, but I want some. I mean, hey, here's the thing, Owen. I mean, some dudes would like to experience vaginal penetration. For fuck's sake,
I mean,
they don't want to experience rectal penetration.
No, I mean, you've got to. It's all part of the culture of consent and bodily autonomy to sort of to have boundaries of what they're and. I don't really understand. I think that I think it's okay for there's heterosexual type things. I mean, because when you look at the the people who are into porn or whatever, like the amount of they call it so-called tranny porn or she-male porn or whatever, that's consumed a lot by the heterosexual men, and it's whatever. I mean, obviously the first thing they see is their boobies or whatever. It's like so it is very much hetero sexual in a lot of ways, but everyone has the right to define their own sexuality and what I think it's an individual choice for each person. It's because I wouldn't really go to sort of look at anybody else's relationship. So there's a man over there who's attracted to that trans woman. So I just see it as that's being their business. So they label it however they like. Like it's not up to me to say, okay, that's hetero, that's gay or whatever. It's just whatever. That's up to them to define
Whatever
their
floats your
relationship
boat.
and their terms.
Anyway, I think I'm going to end this call here pretty soon. I mean, it's nice having you all on, and I'm glad for how long that you stayed on.
No problem. I'm so tired I can't move around much anyway. My legs are noodles right now after this walk. Should sit Cora. In fact, let me put the camera on Cora. Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead and show the puppy.
Because she's all beat and tired.
So the 400. So I got salty when you first exceeded me. You went a little bit above me. Now that you've doubled. Okay.
Cora, you're tired,
I mean,
baby girl.
myself. I'm pretty
Tired. You're tired, little puppy, because
That's cute, dog.
I walked you all those miles.
I'm sorry that Bearing featured me in a video and not you, Wolf.
Well, I mean, you took a risk. Okay, that's the thing. You know, because that's a ballsy move to make, to sort of make a video against someone that's that big, and then, but
Right.
you know, but the payoff was, you know, really kind of sweet.
It was. I mean, some of his fans that Mike mobbed you were really pissing me off at the time. I remember because they were just a lot of them were really nasty.
No, I mean,
What is
the
up
thing
with
that-
those guys?
the
Like,
thing
I
that I
don't
find
get
most
why they
ridiculous
get
about
off.
Bearing is, you know, when I look at someone like Aspie, who's like, he's being treated like such, and some of it he's brought on himself. I'll admit that, but
Yeah,
some of
he
those
brought some of that
YouTube-
on himself. I'm sorry. I
some
like
of
the
those
guy.
larger
that he did.
YouTubers have treated him like absolute shit. Like if, you know, they've actually brought him onto streams, you know, just to do that, and it just goes to show they're exercising their own kind of, you know, their ivory tower mentality, whatever. But you know, the Bearing was probably that one YouTuber who was genuinely, you know, appreciative. So he'd come onto, you know, Aspie's stream and just treat everybody, you know, as equals. He wasn't sitting there, you know, flaunting around his, you know, subscriber count. Like I see that so often.
What am I here on a stream with all you guys? I got 3,000 subscribers. What do you got?
You flop it out and you flaunt it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Bearing-
reason why I have 3,000 subscribers and you don't is because I am better than you, much better than you, because you are garbage. I'm sorry.
Am I
Yeah,
saying that I
yeah.
am fucking better than? Am I saying that I'm better than you? Well, I guess I'm gonna go a step further than you. Yeah, I'm fucking better than you. Much better. You are garbage.
Yeah, mocking Anna Kasparian. I'm joking.
All right, well, congrats on 400, Dark Con. I need to get going. See you there, man.
All right,
Yeah. Hey, we'll have to still do that interview stream, by the way, Blue.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm in Germany right now. So it's actually 1 a.m. here. So we need to get the
Oh,
time.
damn.
Yeah, we need to get the time zone sorted out. But
I know you're in Germany.
DM me and we'll get. Yeah, I'm in Germany. Semester
Do
abroad.
you live in Germany or are you like on vacation?
Semester abroad. I'm studying.
Oh, okay.
Do you live in the U.S. or Canada or something like that?
Oklahoma. Born and bred.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, see you later, Blue. And like I said, I'm going to end the stream right here. Hey, for all of you who have stuck around, I mean, we only have one viewer, and I think that's me viewing my own broadcast. Not a lot of activity going on in the chat right now. But hey, Loudmouth, Wolf, it's been fun as always. And for everybody who joined this stream, thank you so freaking much for joining this stream. Like, I just woke up kind of miserable. Like, overnight, I couldn't hardly get any sleep. I guess I was having some anxiety over the plausibility of knowing that the fight against Owen would just continue on into today, in which it did. And then I drained my soul of fighting those morons on Twitter. But now I was able to lift up my spirits with Reckless Trucker, Loudmouth, Wolf, JJ, S-Man, Carlos. And
now you're gonna rewatch my Threads video to put your,
What?
put your spirits in a bad mood again, right?
I must have missed JJ
Fuck
when I
you,
went out to buy-
Loudmouth. What'd you say, Wolf?
I must have missed JJ when I went out to buy packet of fags.
Yeah,
And he's one that
whoa.
Like JJ deserves
Whoa,
like a
wait. You're saying that you bought a whole bunch of homosexuals? You making them your sex
That's
slaves?
a phrase for cigarettes.
lighting them.
No. I get it.
Yeah. No, JJ deserves like because he deserves his own shout out. Because he's one of the he's under. He is quiet. Like on the streams, you don't hear much from him, but he is like a very he's got a heart of gold, I think.
Yeah, with a rough exterior. Anyway,
yeah.
All of you who have joined, thanks so much for watching. And this is to 400 subscribers and beyond. I am the Dark Conservatarian, and as always, Owen McDonald, you're a fucking lying cunt. And
What time
see you later. Bye bye.